The original intention of the film was just for my personal use, but I thought, with it being such a unique thing, that I'd like to offer it to anybody who wants to see it. On the first visit, Jack took us into his another room, a separate room, and there were these brown parcels full of artwork piled up, and he said to me, "You draw like I do." We were in the studio for 5 hours, you know, it was fantastic, and there's this, he's got this desk, and everything he's ever drawn has come from this desk, and then I would just go with the flow, and that's what this film is about. It's just a unique film of him.
He says, "I beat you." He says, "They say we came in under the dead heat." He says, "That's not true because I beat you." And the American said, "Well," he says, "if you like to think so," he says, "but I know the real story." He says, I know I clearly won that one." See? Well, Joe is 6'3", and I was a runt, say, from the Lower East Side. And being Joe's partner was an advantage to me because Joe was believable, you know. They would talk to Joe. The Goodman brothers would get to know him. Martin Goodman owned Marvel at that time. He went to his mother and he says, "Look, Jackie got a job drawing." He says, "They're paying him for it. They're paying him money for drawing." He says, "Suppose I go with Jackie." He says, "And he says, they'll pay me money." He says, "I'll draw and they'll pay me money." He said, "I'll give the money to you," which we did. We gave it all to our mothers. They called me from Nassau. You know, I lived in Long Island. And they say, "Would you like to come down and draw these guys in training?" I swear, this is not a story. And I said, "Yes, of course, I'd love to come down." And
live this weekend from Savannah, Georgia.
Come get some.
That's right. We'll be launching that one live from Savannah, Georgia, from the VIP party, from a Georgia luau. It's going to be awesome.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
The Madness Comic Network and Comic Related Madness proudly presents Monday Madness, featuring Pops and the Richness, and indie creators from around the world. Tune in to our content on Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt on YouTube.
What's happening? What's up, Rich? How you doing, brother?
You slick bastard. How did you get Chuck Dixon? Jesus Christ. Holy fucking fuck. Wow.
Look, I didn't go get Chuck Dixon. First, Mike Barron for a long time, he's like, Pops, you got to get Chuck on the show. And I've asked him a couple times, right? I've asked him a couple times, and he said, send me an email. So I'd send him an email, and then he'd never see the email. So the other day, recently he's been sending me links, though, to stuff to promote, right?
All right.
Sending me links in my inbox. So the other day he sent me a link, and I was like, hey, Chuck, ain't about time you come out on my show. He said, all right. Let's do it.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
Oh, dude. For me, for a
Chuck
fan,
Dixon, Jesus Christ.
For me, it's just like when Mike Barron said, "Hey, Pops, here's my number. Give me a call." It's that same freaking level of controlled fanboy.
Yeah. That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Holy shit. I'm blown the fuck away with all that. Oh, my God. Woo.
Yeah, I wanted to spend a half hour getting your show, getting your book, talking about your
all right, thank you.
Up, right? Because
thanks, man. I appreciate
holy crap, look what we got. Cat just dragging shit in. Look.
So just sit right down, relax, open your ears real wide and say, give it to me straight, doctor, I can take it.
I got him.
No.
Let me tell you something.
Why? No! 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 Ah! Glad you're here, man.
The Kirby hands. Sick as a dog, and I'm in and out of the bathroom, yakking up,
Oh
whatever.
shit! You okay, man?
Yeah, I'm good. And then I
Glad
remembered.
you guys sit next to me this weekend.
Yeah, I remembered. Chuck Dixon, just get well right now, and run in and throw my ass in the chair. And I was so excited, I clicked on the wrong studio link and went into the wrong studio. And I'm going, where is everybody? So I got it right, and here I am. Hey, Shadowhawk.
Cool.
Hello,
You
Shadow.
guys get to watch my hair dry, man. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, mine too.
all 5 strands of it. That's all right. You rock it a lot better than I would. I look like I was uncircumcised when I shaved my head. Trust me. You rock it. You rock it. You have a nicely shaped dome. Like you can take your head, crush it through like about 3 levels of brick, and still fuck somebody up on the other side of the building. So
yeah,
I'm
like
good.
if I was bald, I would be all dome.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just like,
it's like no, we gotta keep that shit covered up for now. You know, I mean, it happens naturally fine, but man, it just seems like that dome has gotten higher and higher over the last couple of years, right?
Man, if you still have it at your age, then you're not gonna go completely. There are cats half your age who are just gone.
Oh, I know. My brother-in-law hated my guts. My brother-in-law, my little brother, they both hate my guts because I got hair, and they both used to have long hair and shit, and now they got nada. And
that's how I was rapidly approaching 50 when mine started to go, so I went bow, right. So my son, who at that time had long silky locks, would make fun of Daddy for being bald. He lost it all before he even got to 30. So,
I'm checking some of this shit out, man. I had no idea that Mr. Dixon wrote for CrossGen.
Oh, dude,
it didn't last very long,
stuff, man.
Oh, he's been everywhere, like everywhere. This man.
It's like I'm just gonna kind of let him talk about whatever he wants because, I mean, everybody asks him all the same questions about
that's true.
You left the industry and blah blah blah. It's like we know all that shit. I'm just gonna let him talk about whatever.
Yeah, let him say whatever hell he wants. I want to ask him about one question. I want to ask him about how he feels Disney treated Punisher in the series.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like those are the kind of questions he gets like from everybody. They go straight to that. Look what happened, and it's like. I want him to talk to the fans about what he wants to talk about. Now, I'm not saying you can't ask him. I'm just saying, for the most part,
if he'd rather me not, then I won't. Whatever you say, Pops, is gold. Whatever you say, Pops, is gospel on my end.
Like I said, I'm going to let him direct the show and talk to the fans about what he wants to talk about. Because I'm fan.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, you guys. I am not, no matter how long I've been doing this, all that, I'm not a journalistic interviewer. Everybody knows that. I clown, I have fun, I have a good time. But when I got somebody like Mike Barron or Chuck Dixon or anybody that really wants to talk to the fans about their project, I shut the hell up and let them say what they want to say.
Well, I lost track of Chuck Dixon when he was doing War Journal, which was great.
Punisher, he was great, man.
Absolutely loved his work.
And
I even remember his Hobbit adaptation.
That's what I was going to ask. Did you guys know he did the graphic novel of the Hobbit?
Yes, I did.
What?
But then
he's everywhere, bro.
So then I lost track of him. So what is Chuck doing now? I know that he is not mainstream right now.
Well, I dropped 4 links that he sent me in the description.
Okay, all right.
YouTube, so everybody can go check out exactly. I mean, like I said, he dropped me so many links. I'm going to let him talk about what he wants to talk about.
Absolutely.
And stay out here for as long as he wants. And cover all that if he wants to, because
he's Chuck Dixon. I'm just going to shut up and go. Just like I did with Mike Barron. Look, here's the thing, Rich. You weren't here for this, but I was on with Pop and Mike Barron. And holy shit, man, a big old bucket of stupid rolled out of my mouth. What were your influences, Mr. Barron?
Oh, Jesus
And
Christ.
as soon as I said it, I felt that big old mule head come up on me. So I carved it in stone to never ask a stupid fanboy question like that again when a living legend comes in.
And look, y'all see the roaring right here? 85.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get this
man.
thing to 100. I mean, Rich wants to launch on the 2nd.
I'm launching on the 2nd.
On the 2nd. Okay, so
On
that
the
means
2nd of August.
Now,
That's
I
a
want
week.
you to understand.
That's a week
Rich,
tomorrow.
I want you to understand what kind of a week I'm going to go through here. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
We're going to do this show tomorrow. We're going to do Michael Dolce's launch during the brew.
Yes.
Wednesday night.
Can't fucking wait.
Wednesday night, we're doing a quasi closeout for Freak Meter because none of us will be available during the actual closeout. So we're going to do a closeout show on Wednesday night. Thursday, I'm going to be on a train and a plane and an automobile. Thursday and Friday. Actually, Thursday.
And hopefully this weekend we'll be semi-sober
let me
wandering
get through
around.
my itinerary, Doc. Let me get through. We got Thursday and Friday on the road. Friday night we'll be doing an interview with Laughing Rogue is interviewing Nicholas Brendan from Buffy. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but yeah, we'll be doing that Friday night for the show.
Oh my God.
And then, of course, CromCon all day Saturday. We're going to do the first segment live from the con floor and the second segment from the Georgia Luau, the VIP party. And we'll be launching Boosie Boo 2. Are you guys keeping track of launch parties and shit we're talking about?
Yeah.
And then Friday, and then Saturday Sunday we're coming right back out at the con and we're doing live interviews and stuff. We got Jason Connolly who has some surprise stuff for us. And then there's all kinds of people that we could be talking to that day. Kurt Angle, among others. It's going to be it's going to be wide open, though. I'm just going to post the links. If you're a guest and you want to come out to CromCon this weekend online, it's just like be courteous of the people that are, if there's somebody already there doing it, talking about their stuff, come on in, but let them get theirs out before you start on yours. And live guests, people that walk up to the booth, have priority. Okay, if you're in the middle of your thing and Kurt Angle walks up, sorry. I'm just letting you know. That's why we're having it wide open. We didn't schedule anything because I have no idea. We won't be talking to the people at the con until right before the con about coming and doing live interviews with us. So that's why I never had a sign up page or anything. But I still want that online. I want people from other cons to come out for 5 minutes, show us your setup wherever you're at. You see what I'm saying? I want this to be the biggest con in a con event ever.
Yeah. Dan is in the chat. Dan, what is the weather going to be for us?
Dan's supposed to be out here talking with us at 4:30 about this. We're supposed to be talking about Rich's book right now, but my itinerary, CromCon, hurry up, get my ass home so we can launch Rich's book. See,
I could delay the launch a couple of days if it's easier.
No, it doesn't matter where I'm at. I will have my unit with me.
All right. Well, whichever way we do.
Where I'm at, I'll be able to stop on the side of the road and go, hit it, Rich. As long as I got somewhere to plug my computer in, we'd be good.
Excellent.
So
excellent. And if whatever it is, I'll be fine. Thank you. But yes, my book, I have finished laying out.
What time did you want to launch? Like at give me time.
I would say probably like around 7 or 8 o'clock. I think. Yeah, on your end.
My time?
Your time.
Yeah.
So I'll stay up at
That should give me time to get home.
Yeah, I won't be able to sleep. So I'm good, because it's like, yeah, I wanna get this thing going. I finished the thumbnails for all the damn pages, all the pages, in the entire book. Now all I gotta do is just draw them. I have another 13 pages to draw, and I could wipe that out in like 5 days.
Wow.
Yep.
The man is a pro, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm that quick. I'm that good, but
He is. He's
I'm
that
also
good.
that quick. I'm also that quick, which sometimes is not a good thing. So, that's just how. Yes, I
Hopefully
had
you
to
got
throw in
good-
the innuendos before I had to be serious. Because Chuck fucking
Oh,
Dixon's going to be here.
Rich.
Jesus Christ.
Rich.
I'm going to talk to a goddamn
Rich.
legend.
Rich.
I'm going to talk to a legend.
Rich.
Come on, Rich.
What?
The first time I met you, we were talking to a legend.
Rich.
True. But I'm talking to another legend. A third legend.
I'm right here.
There's Keith Williams.
I've been here the
a
whole
fourth
time.
legend. Oh, that's right. I'm talking to Doc. That's a second legend. I talked to
Jesus.
Michael Barrett. That's a third legend. And fucking Chuck Dixon. Jesus God, man. I'm fanboying over here. All over the floor. All over the floor. I'm like, ew, what a mess. I got to clean this shit up after I finish.
Did you guys like the overlay?
Yes.
Did you like that one?
Oh, get that. That looks good.
Got Chuck
Damn.
taking Crom's place. See that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is the Chuck Dixon hour. Or however long he wants.
That's the first time I've ever put somebody over Crom. I'm just letting you know that.
Oh,
I'll
man.
probably pay
That's
for
amazing.
that. Yeah, that's it.
Man.
Mostly
Mostly
sunny all
all
week.
week. That's good.
Early to
Yeah,
mid
okay.
90s. Yeah, we'll be good.
All right, so there's my campaign. I have 85 followers right now. I would like to get to 100. 150 would be great. I'll settle for 100. I mean, anything after 85 is awesome, because it's like I'm surprised that I got this many followers already. Thank you for everyone who has. Yep, like I said before, I finished laying out all the pages. I just got to draw them up, and I will have all the pages penciled and inked by launch, and during the campaign I'll be coloring the damn thing. So it's like, yeah, I'll be busy, but I'm excited for this one. And if I finish the coloring early, I'll finish the writing for issue 2 and fortify the plots for chapters 3, 4, 5, and 6. So yeah, I'm going to be a little bit busy, and I'm going to go live all over the place. I'm going to go live every day, I'm going to try my best to go live as much as I can. And appear on this show.
When you're doing that, Rich, keep your eyes on the chat, because I will be in there cheering for you.
Oh, I want you to fucking join me at sometimes, man. I could use I could use someone who's equal in talent, if not superior in some lot of ways.
Stop it.
To friggin' join. No, I'm dead serious, man. I want you to join me if I go live.
Well, I'll be
Hell
happy
yeah,
to.
man. I'd be honored if you did. Be honored if you did.
I want to know if anybody was paying attention on Sunday and saw what Rich did on Sunday.
Yes, but I have to run back to the restroom. I'll be right back.
Okay, Doc.
Yeah, man, that
For
was
you
fun.
people in the chat, I don't know if you were watching on our Madness Open Draw stream on Sunday, but Rich did this badass dime bag, Daryl. Check that out.
I did that I did that in about 40 minutes. Not even.
Yeah, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's yours. Merry Christmas. I just gotta send it to you at some point.
Just send it with something going to RJ,
right.
and then he'll send
Yeah, I'll
it to
do
me
that.
with something coming to me, and it won't even cost anything. See?
That's true. Yeah, so I'll just do that. That'll be awesome. Yeah, man. I mean, the beauty. You see, I don't mind the occasional request from someone that obviously that I give a shit about. I'm like, it doesn't. I'm not worried about cost or anything, because it's like, I could draw it again. That's what I do. So it's the easiest thing in the world for me to do. So I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
What's
I'm
up,
just too busy having fun with it. Hey, Quint, what's up? All right, so the roaring, for anybody who's gonna watch, is a story about three frapper girls who lead a bunch of other flapper girls whose sole mission is to take over all of organized crime in 1920 Chicago by any means necessary, whether it's robbery, whether it's seduction, whether it's murder, whatever it might be, mayhem, you name it. It doesn't matter to them. Officer Sophie Grant, the first female police officer in the 27th district. This is an alternate history, so that's actually not true. But she volunteers to infiltrate this group of flappers and destroy them from within. Now, time will tell if she's successful or not. And it's going to be 6 issues, between 28 and 32 pages each issue, depending on how far I want to carry the story. And I will be releasing this quarterly, every 3 months. Every 3 months on the dime. So we have, what do we have here? August 2nd. The next one will be released on November 2nd. And then the next one will be released on February 2nd. Then after that, it's going to be May 2nd, and it's going to be August 2nd, where it'll probably culminate at the end of next year. That's what I'm doing. Hello, Quint. Where'd everybody go? Oh, okay. So yeah, that's Jesus Christ. That's what I'm doing. I have a whole crap ton I have a bunch of rewards that are really cool. I have a lot of original art, and I have a special commission offer there too, where if you back it and you have a lovely lady that you think is going to look hot as a flapper, not only do I draw her on an 11x17 or A3 size commission, but her likeness also goes in the comic. So it's like 2 for 1. Yes, like this one for Nita Lanning. Yes, exactly. And I've already laid out the page where Nita is gonna be appear. So yeah, that's the type of stuff that I do. That's an 11x17 commission. I just got to ink that sucker. As a matter of fact, I got to go live inking that.
Anybody who does not recognize the face, that is Nita Lanning, from Raging.
That is absolutely Nita Lanning.
It's perfect.
Yep. Oh yeah, I know. I can't wait to do a whole bunch of them.
What?
I want everyone to get one of these things.
Doc's talking in my voice. Doc said he would be honored to do a trading card for this wonderful campaign.
I'd be honored too. I would be honored. Thank you. I would be honored. But yes, this is it starts August 2nd. My goal, I believe I changed the goal a little bit now, 2,000, but we're gonna go for as much as can. Yeah, a Southern Belle indeed. Yes. I'll have stretch goals all over the place once we pass it, because I'm very confident that we're going to do it. I have alternate covers that are going to be available, as well as unlocked covers as we go for stretch goals. And the most important part is the story. I really believe in the story, and this is my best artwork that I've done. The best that I've ever done.
I do want to offer my services as a proofreader when
it's
done.
All right.
When you got it done.
Yes, sir.
Now, everybody knows I read the beginning of your script.
I didn't. Did I send you the pages after page 10?
Oh, well, you sent me a script, and I stopped reading it at page 10 or whatever, because it was like, I didn't want to create my own visuals. Now I've got to look at what all the characters look like from your book. I can go ahead and finish reading it. But I want to make sure that, you got a couple people putting eyes on it when it's time to proofread it,
Oh, yeah. I got it. I want to share the pages, but I really shouldn't. Because I want everybody.
I stopped reading the script because I hadn't seen any art yet.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to make my own visualizations of what these characters look like or what the background looked like. I wanted Rich's art. Okay, so I stopped reading at about page 10. I told Rich, I was like, man, I gotta have the visuals with this. I can't read this anymore, But now I've seen what everybody looks like and stuff, so now I can finish reading.
Just wait. I'm gonna take snapshots of the pages that I have. and I'm going to show you what's up. And
Dude,
damn, what?
I pretty much got a good idea what's up. You're gonna kill this motherfucker.
Well, we will just wait. Just wait. I am not lying. I am supremely not lying. The art
If you
that I have
haven't
is
signed
gonna
up
be-
for this, go sign up because
Yes, please. Yes, good stuff. Comic
It's
Skater,
gonna be
Lee
a
Newman.
great-
Sign up for my campaign.
What's
You
up,
don't
dude?
have to back it. It's not going to cost you a cent. Nothing. Back this campaign because A, I believe in it. B, that's going to help. And there it is. Rich Perotta at his best. Thank you. And then the best is yet to come after this one because I'm pulling out all the damn stops on this.
Yeah, my
Yes.
endorsement will sell it.
I hope so. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it
Hey,
will.
Lee.
My endorsement is crap. Hello,
Oh,
Lee
shut up.
Newman. How are you?
Lee, good stuff. Quentin, good to see you guys.
Yeah,
You
man.
know,
I
got a quote too. Better than I visualized.
Oh man. Just wait. No, I should fucking show you. I'm gonna see if I can get it. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Let me see if I can even get a couple pages
Best
to you.
boobs of the year.
Oh, they're nice boobs. They're nice boobs, but they're not like ostentatious.
They're honest
where it's
boobs.
like they're honest boobs.
They're,
but they're
honest
big honest
boobs. They're not lying.
Big honest
to you.
boobs.
They're not lying.
Big
to
honest boobs. Yeah, I know. They're not. They're not a certain person's boobs that I'm not going to talk about. You know. I mean.
Hey, comic
You know.
shop.
I mean. Never. You know what I mean? I mean. You know.
You know what's
stuff like that.
You know what's
All
up?
right.
We got the Comic Chat Authority in the house.
We got Comic Chat Authority in the house.
The Comic
Yeah,
Chat
yeah.
Authority.
I love boobs. If you love boobs, dude, you're gonna love this book. But you're gonna get boobs, flappers, machine guns, Tommy guns, gangsters being shot by flappers with Tommy guns and big boobs. Yeah, and a story to go with it, an actual story, which I'm really proud of, and it's really, really dope. I mean, yeah. Woo! I'm excited. I'm doubly excited today because one of the greatest writers in comics history is going to be there. Oh my God!
There you go.
Well, what? I go with Comic Chat Authority. Jesus Christ! Oh my God! Hello, Comic Chat Authority. I love boobs. Those boobs wouldn't borrow $5 and pay you back. Oh, you'd be surprised. They would just take everything else. They take your soul. That's what would happen.
Yeah, that's Doc Blalock.
Blalock. Oh my God.
Sam. Hell yeah, everybody popping up in here now. What's going on, yo? You bet, man.
Hello, everyone.
Y'all,
Give me
you
one.
gotta go check out the Comic Chat Authority on YouTube as well.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Oh shit! Hey,
I wonder if I'm subscribed to them yet.
Mr. Tank. It's Tank.
Tank Ferret.
This
Sexy man.
Listen to the Cromnisher and back this.
About that.
Back this book.
Oh, man, where is my Cromnisher at?
Let's
Yeah.
see. Give me a sec.
Fortunately, I'm not at my I'm at my main computer.
Okay.
I just forget because I have
How is
so,
everybody?
so much stuff. How you doing, Tank?
How's it going, Tank? How you feeling?
I'm
You doing good?
doing good. I'm doing good. How's everybody else? How you doing?
I'm fanboying all over the damn floor. Truth to power. It's just like,
yeah.
you know, I feel like the day that I met John Byrne. This is how I feel right now. I feel like when I met John Byrne at a convention. That's how I feel right here and now.
All right, look,
It's really exciting for today. I'm really excited today.
I am too, and you know I love Tank, but that's one more person taking up Chuck's time away from me. So
Yeah, I know exactly. So what the fuck?
So get out, get out.
Chuck's an awesome dude, man.
It's
He's
always
amazing.
a party here, bro. It's always a party.
Yeah, why am I?
It is
I'm at the
always a
bottom.
party in.
I'm at the bottom again. I have to sit up straight to be seen over my own name
Well,
tag.
When I put you at the bottom, you were a muted avatar.
I know. I know.
All right, 1 second. I just gotta relabel
Did
these.
Chuck do it? I think he did some X-Men, didn't he?
I don't think so. I don't know. I can
I don't know.
I could
Got
do
some
something
credit.
as basic as check the Wikipedia, but I honestly don't know if he did.
Does Rich have something else in pre-launch as well? No, I don't think he
I
did.
know I
dude.
signed up another thing of his. Yes, but that was Incantessi. That was over a year ago. I'm remodeling it. I'm fixing Incantessi at this moment, but this is something entirely different. So sign up.
So
If you love me, sign up,
Y'all go
Lee.
sub to Good
Sign up,
Stuff's
man.
channel too. Y'all go sign up to Good Stuff's channel too, man.
Yes.
Good
Give me a
shows
second.
are freaking good, man. I'm just saying.
Good stuff.
more fun.
That's
More fun than you could possibly count on. Yeah.
Ain't nobody got that many sticks. You can't shake them. You can't shake that many sticks.
It's a good channel, is what I'm saying.
It is.
Hey, Good Stuff. I signed up for your. I signed up on your YouTube, and I have the bell rung. So there you go.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
YouTubes.
Good.
I already got it.
I followed you on the YouTubes.
On the YouTube.
Got to ring the bell.
Following you on the YouTube.
Oh, and y'all got to go sign up and sub to this guy too. Damn, they're coming out of the woodwork.
RJ, what's
They're
up,
all
bro?
over the damn place. My screen's full. They're all over.
No, the only one missing is Nita. Where the hell is Nita?
Where is Nita exactly?
Yeah, if we had Nita here, we'd have.
You're
pretty much
welcome,
the
Good
whole
Stuff,
channel
man. Anytime.
conglomerate. You know.
Anytime. All right, Pops.
There we go.
Are
There
you
we-
ready to get your Pops? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what the fuck I got now. I'm sending it to you in Facebook chat.
Just
Share it.
Just make it an overlay, dude.
I can't make it an overlay. I'm on my phone. Remember, I can't. Yeah, I know. So that's the reason why. So, but I'm sending. These are full pages. These are pages 10, 11, and 15.
You don't want me to show those. I'll just
No, I don't want. I'm sending them to you personally. That's it. You know, if you want to show them the Doc and Tank, that's great.
Okay.
I don't care.
Oh, she's cute.
Oh yeah. Yes, she is. Yeah, what's happening on page 10 and 11? Tell me what's happening on page 10 and 11, you sick fuck. Tell me.
Man.
Oh, man. Tank fell out. I didn't mean it, Tank. Come back.
Somebody getting a glass stuck in his eye.
Oh my god! Yeah, send it to Blalock. Send it to Doc. Send it to Doc. I gotta see his reaction.
But the one I like is Two Gun Sally, man.
Oh, it's definitely Two Gun Sally. Jesus Christ! Ah!
Welcome back, Tank.
You know what? Show page 15. Show page 15.
Hold on, you want me to send this to Doc? I'm trying to send this to Doc.
Well, send the three of them to Doc first. I want to see what his reaction is, and then when he's finished with that, you can put up on the screen page 15.
That's the
that's the splash.
Throat,
that's the splash.
The throat?
Oh, hell.
Yeah. That's the splash with the girl.
No.
To Sally.
You talking about Two Gun Sally? Okay.
Two Gun Sally, baby. Yep.
That's the one I can show.
Well, her name's Dorothy, but it's not. It's her name's Dorothy Barlow. She's I don't know. I made someone else the leader. I'm trying to figure out. Maybe I should have made her the fucking crazy leader because I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
So she's the one.
I guess everybody needs a sociopath, with the two fucking Tommy guns and shit. That's awesome.
Look, I just fell in love with her, man. She just became my favorite character, no matter what.
Oh yeah, man, the stuff that she does.
Look at
Check
that
this shit out.
And Tommy in each hand.
I'm gonna wait until I ink this shit. Oh, I'm not even done. I'm not even remotely done with it yet.
This is a fantastic drawing, fantastic composition. I love that you can see the gun moving as she's shooting. That's amazing. Fantastic.
That I have. I don't know. Barlow sounds familiar. I don't know. I've seen that effect before in a comic, and I will admit I'm kind of swiping / inspired by it. But damn,
Who cares?
that's as good as an effect as I've ever seen for anyone shooting a weapon that's strafing from one side to the other.
Every person that's ever drawn a punch with a motion line was aping something. Is how well do you do it, and that is well done.
Thank you.
See, Rich, one of the things I've always loved about your artwork is that you do this thing that I like to do, which is capture motion without motion lines. You know,
yeah.
I really, really love that. Like you have the ultimate high-speed camera, and it just captures it, and it's just beautiful.
Grazie, fratelli.
And that angle just says she is dominating the battlefield right here.
Look at that.
She's killing anything that's in front of her. There's pages later that it's like, we're going to see exactly what happens when she fires all those fucking bullets into a crowded.
And the look on her face as she does it.
Oh, she loves it. She doesn't give a shit. She's like, I'm good. You're dead. The whole fucking thing, it's insane. I love it. And do you want to show Tank the other 2 pages also? If you want to send it to him, go right ahead.
Don't have a way to send it to him right now unless he's like.
Oh, okay.
Unless he's actually looking at stuff.
No, I'm looking. I'm seeing.
Quentin says I can see her jiggling.
yeah, jiggly.
It's
Oh, he's gone again.
Jiggle woman. No, I kicked him because. No, I'm kidding. I would never kick anybody. I would never kick anybody. Come here, Rich.
Boom. Yeah, man, you get all that stuff there. 85 signups. Let's get this to 100. I want to get this to 100.
Share it out. Tweet it out.
Share it out.
I promise you guys, you are gonna love. Oh, sorry, Tank. Damn it! I promise you guys, you are gonna love this fucking book, man. You're gonna love this story. I promise. If you like 1920s type prohibition, little people trying to get away with shit, you know, a little gangsta action here and there, you know, hot chicks, you like that stuff.
I am excited for this book.
I'm excited too.
There's a lot of books I'm looking forward to, but I'm excited for this one.
Ooh, thank you.
I'm like, I can't wait to get this so I can swipe some of Rich's images and put them in my
By all
book.
means, I don't care. Go right ahead.
I'm kidding. I would never do
Go ahead and throw this.
I wouldn't care because I know you would treat it with fucking respect. You know, it's not like a certain. Yeah, it's not like certain artists who I forgot their name, unfortunately, for their sake.
That's why I said it.
It's like you know, it's not like you're going to be like the guy who swipes every single line that George Perez the late great George Perez put down for Crisis Number 12. I hope you're watching. I hope you see this. You chintzy copying bastards. I know they don't have any taste. They're asses.
They don't watch my show.
I don't know who they. I know one of them is. I forgot the name of the guy, but
they're very.
They're more than traces. They're just tracers. That's worse.
Your mother was a tracer.
I have a question for you, Rich.
Yes,
I got a question. Is RJ going to be handling U.S. fulfillment for you on this?
Yeah. Absolutely. RJ is the go-to guy. RJ is the go-to guy for this.
I got to get the plugs in for RJ. You know what's up.
Well, yeah, of course. No, absolutely, but RJ, absolutely. Yeah, he was perfect. He was perfect when he took care of my fulfillment last year. He was great. Yeah, I can't speak a praise higher for this guy. He's completely and absolutely 100% reliable. He's excellent.
Yeah. 100% reliable.
I'm not going to say anymore.
No, I honestly, I want him to be handling distribution for my company, for Tank Ferret Presents, dude, like for real. And I still need to have a conversation with him regarding the logistics of that, because we had talked about the possibility. And yeah, he's totally open. And I was like, okay, cool. Then I just need to get you some specifics so we can collapse that wave function. Yeah. But I've been so focused on Savannah Comic-Con and getting caught up on commissions. You know,
Savannah
Savannah Comic Con.
Comic-Con.
You know, we heard that those guys down in Savannah like comic book conventions, so we decided we're going to put a comic book convention inside the comic book convention. That's right, CromCon going to be broadcasting live from Savannah Comic
We're
Con.
taking it a step further. We're inviting people at other Comic-Con conventions to come online and show us what's happening at their comic book convention,
Oh
at
my
our
God.
comic book convention, and another comic convention. Oh,
It's
Oh,
insane.
I just wet myself listening to this. That's crazy. Oh my God. I'm like,
You know what, Pops? You know what, Pops? That sounds like a cromception.
It's poetry, baby. It's well.
It is.
What's up?
Oh,
What's up, Pale Rider?
And that's one of two conventions that Tank Ferret Presents is going to be at this year. The second one is going to be at the London Film and Comic Festival.
When are you going to be there?
I don't know if I personally am going to be there yet. I know that Dan Fogarty and that Paul Roper will be there, and Rich, you're invited.
Okay, yeah.
Like, we have table space for you. If you don't have table space lined up, dude, you have table space.
I'm honored. I'll go there. I was going to go there just to say hi to you guys, but I'll rep as much as you want me.
Yeah, go hang out.
I'll hang out and I'll rep you guys as much as you want. I mean, I'm honored that you even thought of it. But yeah,
I'm borderline insistent upon it.
All right, fine. Twist my arm.
Yeah, basically, they're saying we got you a table. Come hang out with us. That's basically what they're saying.
Yeah,
I am beyond grateful.
and
Just
if
let me
you're
know what you
watching
need.
this show, if you're
StripperCon.
watching the show right now, right?
Yes.
Come up to us at Savannah Comic Con, right?
Yeah.
And if you're an artist, if you got something to sell, come on by. We got an extra booth down in Artist Alley just to share the love.
Yeah. Jesus
All right, we
Christ,
got an
that's
extra
crazy.
booth. It's right next to the Crom broadcast booth. It's going to be really exciting. We got some awesome lineups. We got we got Saturday after the con. We got the best party, and there's some parties going on after the con, but ours is the best. We're gonna have a Georgia luau. We got delicious food, sliders, burgers, chips, dips, brews, and dudes. We're kind of doing this, one, just for fun. It's a low-key event. Two, we're stupid train.
I love trains.
It's you got to drive its way through town and remind us that it's a train, because we might forget that it's a train. If we forget it's a train, it might deflate its ego and just wreck all over the place. I don't know. But yeah, no, if you're at Savannah, come on down, come say hello. If you want to show off your stuff, come show off your stuff. On Sunday, I'll be doing portfolio reviews. So if you want to get some input on your art, so you can go reach that next level. I was an art director for over 10 years. I can help you out with that. We got Doc's gonna come on down and say hello. We got Pops gonna be there. We have special guests that I'm not gonna say. You're just gonna have to go there, show up, and watch the show to see what the heck we're bringing to you, man. But it's gonna be hot, hot, hot.
We're feeling hot, hot, hot. Rich is my music Tourette's brother.
Pale Rider wants to set up a stripper con. Yeah, you.
I'm with you. We can host that in conjunction with TriggerCon.
That is
a stripper and cocaine con. I can think with that.
Rich's house every Friday.
Yeah, cocaine.
All the whores and opium we can carry.
Yeah.
Okay.
La, 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 la.
I disavow.
Wait, nobody here read Pirate Corpse? Come on, man. That was one of the best underground comics of all time.
Oh, yeah.
I love that one. Strummer's Mega Market, 20 square miles of nonstop shopping madness, and a black credit card, all the whores and opium we can carry.
Oh, my God in heaven. Okay, just as a disclaimer,
the opinions of the Madness Comic Network, its staff, sponsors, or contributors. This show is rated TVMA and all those other letters. Viewer discretion is highly advised. Doc says, read it again. Oh, did I just pull a Biden?
I think you did, yeah. A disclaimer. I don't do cocaine, and I'm not exactly into the strippers because you seen one, you seen them all.
I don't pay for sex. I barter with dinner.
I don't have to worry about bartering for anything. I'm a pimp. No, not really.
He says, I draw my strippers.
I draw my fuck. No, no. Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
I can.
I forget which artist. I think it was Sal Buscema that said, comic book artists, hot cars. It was fast cars, hot women, and piles of money. Comic book artists draw them all.
That's true. You know who I miss as a comic book character? Has anyone ever heard of Omaha the Cat Dancer? No one has. Oh my god. Reed Waller. He drew that sucker with his wife Kate Worley. Okay, forget it. I'm sorry.
I did not know about it.
Oh, it was one of the bigger. Which one? You don't have to pay the hookers for the sex. You pay them to go away after the sex.
That's one way of looking at it.
Yeah. Hey, that trainer. I don't know when. Oh yes, Omaha and Kate Worley. Yes, Critical Blast knows who it is. Yes, he does. I love Omaha the Cat Dancer. Love Omaha the fucking Cat Dancer. I was like, yeah, this is good for me when I was a kid. All right, I'm in. Yay. She was hot. I was like, all right, she looks like a cat, but I'm in it.
She looks like a cat, but I'm in.
She's a cat, but I'm in. Meow. Omaha the Cat Dancer. Now I feel like drawing her, but I really shouldn't. Isn't Mr. Dixon supposed to be on in a few minutes?
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Excellent.
This is what we're talking about, yo. Right here.
Yes, sir.
CromCon.
Come on out. Check it out. CromCon.
Oh, yeah.
Live from Savannah, Georgia, Comic-Con.
It's in their brand new convention center. That place is really nice looking. I really like it. And it's going to be a heck of a show. We're going to be blasting stuff on projectors. We have 5 booth spaces, 3 artist alley, 2 vendor. Like we are bringing a mega presentation. World War Hell will be making its debut there.
Nice.
We'll have live gaming, giveaways, all sorts of fun stuff. We'll be proof of concept of the game. I mean, we're still, it's still one of those things. Like we're launching the crowdfunder and whatnot, but we got a proof of concept, and so we got to crowdfund the rest of it. Like, hey, look, this game is playable. We got a whole bunch of models and 3D printed stuff. The prototypes, they're beautiful, by the way, beautiful. I've shown Pop some of the pictures, and this stuff is hot,
dude.
Yeah, yo.
Lots of good stuff going on. I got a little stack of stuff I'm taking down there. I got some signed Jim O'Reilly prints, some original art. We got some comic books, some indie comic books. I'm bringing a copy of the Incantessi.
Oh no! Why would you do that?
And a copy of number 2. And if somebody wants to buy them both,
keep the money. I don't care. Well, you're gonna sell a book that I gave you, man. That's messed up.
What? I got extras, bro.
Oh, okay, fine.
I got extras. I got extras of Ed Gein too, and I'm taking 1 copy of Ed Gein number 1, and some lucky person's walking away from that table with it.
Oh man!
If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look at Ed Gein number 2.
Like for real, at Savannah Comic-Con, we're giving away hundreds of dollars worth of stuff while we're down there.
Well, I didn't say I was giving that away. I said 1 lucky person's walking away with it.
If they're lucky enough to have the money.
Yeah.
Hey, what can I say, man? My friend and I, Brad, we went in on the retailer tier on that on both number 1 and number 2, because I know people are going to wish they were in on that one when it starts.
Oh, for real.
That stuff's so good, man. Christian Rossi art, Lucifer Storm writing.
Yes,
Come on, man.
Lucifer
That
Storm.
stuff is awesome. But yeah,
Critical Blast says,
what is up, Belmont? What's happening, bro?
hello, Belmont. Hello, Belmont. Oh, I
Y'all
didn't
know
know that. RJ, I didn't know that. That's awesome. He went to Omaha, went to Clone on the judge ruled in her favor because there was an actual story and plot, not prurient, which was the statute for obscenity. Yeah, it was everything was an actual story. It was hot, but it was also an actual story along with it. You know, that's what separates a good comic from just being, you know, exploitative. I mean, I love boobs, put them out there, yay! But you know, it's like that. I loved Omaha not only just for the pictures, but also for the story. Man, it was a good story. I love that.
And as you can see there, Michael Ray commented. He says, "Sweet Christmas! I finally get to meet you." And it's like, looking forward to it, Michael Ray. I'll be there.
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
know, looking forward to it.
I'm sorry. I'm excited. I apologize. I keep rambling. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm all fired up, man. Like I said,
I'm rambling like crazy.
I went through my week with you guys. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Rich, you got to do Monday Madness next week too, bro.
Well, yeah, of course.
You know.
Yeah, that's fine. Easy.
I mean, you just do whatever you want. Invite.
No, I'm definitely gonna be there. Don't worry about that. Do not worry about that. I'll definitely be there. Whew.
Yeah, I'll probably be on the road on my way home at that time. So you and Doc can do Monday Madness next week.
And we'll be broadcasting live from the VIP after party at the Savannah. And it's going to be great.
Actually doing a launch party during that VIP party.
Yeah, if I make it down, Pops, I'm still going to be there. I'm not going to be able to do Monday Madness. Rich can do Madness. I'll still be down there, and on that day, since my hometown's across the river, I'll probably boogie on across the bridge and go see some folks.
It's like, I'm going to go party, man.
No, I want to go see the old homestead and visit Hilton Head and Paris Island and Port Royal. And
see, he wants to go party with his military buddies.
Yeah.
Don't forget to stop at the VA.
But at the VIP party, we'll have special guests. We'll have a bunch of first responders, firefighters, and emergency medical services personnel. Will be they'll be coming over for some for some free food and drinks. Come out and get, a little tribute to those folks.
Yeah,
for
we
doing
need
such
to
a
get
great
Mike
job.
Barron to come out during the VIP party online too.
Yeah,
and
I would love
it.
But I got to take Tank to Paris Island because I think every Army puke should go there to see their betters training.
So this one time, these 2 times, these 3 times
Cap.
in Baghdad,
Ben Cap.
we built the Marines.
Oh my god. Oh man. Oh my god.
Get there to make a Marine.
Oh my god. That's too fucked up.
See that recruit over there? That's the lowest form of life in the military, except for the Army.
Hey, at least I was smart enough to have my weapon carry me.
Oh my god.
That's true.
God, that's too much. Oh my god.
Hell no.
I love all our military services equally.
Yes.
Broadcast and not. Oh, damn it, went. Bring it back, beast man.
Quentin does the best reading of that I've ever heard. Quentin sounds just like he sounds like a 1940s radio announcer.
Oh Jesus Christ, that's right.
If you ever heard the
statements in the following
broadcast, the best of the opinions of the country with its staff, sponsors, the contributors. This show is rated MA and all those other letters. Views and discretion is highly advised. That's what it sounds like.
Doc said read it again.
I can't.
No, I didn't.
He didn't say read it again.
Poor Tank. Poor Tank. I didn't mean to run him off. You can unmute Tank. Come back.
Why'd you mute Tank?
Where was my kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth shattering kaboom.
Now, Tank, seriously, I have to ask this question.
Yeah.
That comment had to have come out of somebody's mouth in the armored cavalry.
Oh yeah.
If you got a dud or a misfire, please tell me.
Yeah.
Somebody actually said that.
Yeah. No, it was me. Because I was only the guy who could do a Marvin the Martian voice. Because I love Marvin the Martian. He's such a wonderful little fellow.
There's supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Have you seen my Lithium P39 global thermomodulator?
I just have this vision in my head of tank
help me, God, that's funny.
firing one downrange, and it just go just fall.
You broke my thermocabobulator.
A global thermomodulator.
Where's my kaboom? There's supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Oh, you know who that sounds like? That sounds like Bill Hader doing an impression of the Martian.
I can't. I used to do Marvin, but I can't anymore. But Tank, if you don't draw that as a cartoon,
well, it has to happen.
Of an Abrams going and the round just falling to the ground right outside the tank, and Marvin the Martian come out and say that.
I'll have to do him sitting in a Sherman, to do a Fury crossover.
No, not a Sherman.
Uranium 236 explosive space modulator.
It's got to be.
That's what it's called.
It's got to be an Abrams. It cannot be a Sherman, because Shermans didn't do earth-shattering kabooms.
They do, but usually on the inside.
The 76 did, but not.
Oh my God! Terrible.
Hi there, Kermit the Pimp here. Where's my money? Where's my money, bitch? Kermit's gonna have to cut a hole.
Jesus
Hello,
Christ.
all you happy hookers.
Why does that remind me of Wayne
How
Brady?
much money have you earned for Droopy this evening?
How much money?
Give Daddy some love. You know Daddy loves you.
Is Kermit the Frog gonna have to choke a bitch?
All right, so yeah,
Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch.
5 minutes till Chuck Dixon time.
Oh my God, let's get all of our energy out so we isn't think we're fucking confused.
All right, everybody, real quick. This is a dress rehearsal. Put on your professional faces.
Oh man, I'm not gonna.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Mr. Chuck Dixon. All right, good. We're good. No, Rex, don't try to look sexy. You come off as creepy. Don't do that.
I am creepy.
What's up, Doc? What's cooking?
We are in the midst of comics royalty today. We have a man.
Belmont says he's working topless.
Oh, really?
I'm actually wearing the new World War Hell shirts, man.
Oh yeah, well watch this.
They're sharp. They're good. Ooh, too spicy.
Ooh, look at that! And here's another one. Woo!
Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah! We're Ice Cube level
We
tonight.
just got kicked off everything.
We just got defunded.
We just got kicked off everything.
No, we didn't. I didn't say any bad words.
Hashtag free the nipple.
I didn't
Free
do
the
anything
nipple.
yet.
Oh my God! It's so hot here with this car wash. Oh no!
Like
I know it's terrible.
Diamond cutters. So hard.
Get it out now, Rich. Get it
I'm
out.
just gonna hide till Chuck gets here.
I have to stop laughing because it's almost 10 o'clock at night here in the UK, and I have neighbors, so I should shut up like right now. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep my big old mouth shut.
Excuse me. Sorry. Let me.
This is gonna be so cool. I can't wait. I'm honored to meet this man. I'm honored. I'm truly honored. This is comics royalty. Shit you not. Shit you not.
This is what it's all about.
One of the good
Yes,
guys.
it is, yes, it is. It sure as hell is.
Oh yeah, it's more. It's fun on the bun, baby. Fun on the bun.
Yes.
Fun in the sun. Going to the sand.
I'm doing everything I can to not turn that into some sort of innuendo.
Yes.
Fun the bun. I'm trying. I'm really trying.
Rich.
I'm trying.
he's going to explode if he doesn't say something.
The devil, yes, exactly.
No, Chuck is an absolute legend, man. And what he had set up for the whole, like one of the things that I think is grossly underappreciated was the continuance plan for the Bat after he broke the Bat's back. You know, like Bruce Wayne never should have gone back to being Batman. He should have been broken Bruce Wayne, like we see in Batman Beyond, right? That should have been the origin of broken Bruce Wayne. Grayson should have picked up the cowl and grown the F up, you know, and stop being Nightwing and grow up and just get over his. I mean, the guy's in his mid-20s and he's still throwing a teenage temper tantrum. Like, grow up, dude. Move the plot forward.
My thought
and that's what Chuck did. He moved the plot forward.
Hold up. The one, the only, the incomparable, Mr. Chuck Dixon.
Yes.
How you doing? What a
welcome, sir.
What a welcome.
Hey, Chuck.
Sir, yes, sir. Pleasure to meet you. It's an honor.
Oh, pleasure.
It's an honor, sir.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we can.
Awesome.
Yes, we can, sir.
All right.
How are you?
Chuck, we all rehearsed this, so everybody all together now. Okay, there we go.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
How are you? How are you, sir?
Doing well. Doing well.
Excellent.
It's great. It's great to meet you. I was pretty sure I lined up to see you at a Dragon Con in Atlanta, but since I snuck in, they just threw me out. So that never got to happen.
Oh.
That's how bad he tried, though.
I did try. I did try.
Well, when you meet the equivalent of like if you're it's like I kind of feel like if you're an actor and you wind up like having a half hour, an hour long conversation with Tom Hanks or Jimmy Stewart, you know, it's really just like a big fan. It's I'm a fan. I can't help it. It's
well, I don't know what to say.
Well, what I want to ask, what I think, forgive me, I mean, because I've been entrenched in what I'm doing. I'm a terribly narcissistic human being, but whatever can I ask what you're doing?
He isn't even going to let you introduce yourself.
Yes. I know, and see, this is how nervous I am.
I can take him nowhere, Chuck.
Chuck,
nowhere.
I have to let you know, first off, the name, this is madness. Okay, that's just, it's what we do. But we have so much fun. Mike Barron's been telling me for a long time, you got to get Chuck Dixon on your show, Pops. And it's like, you know, I'd get a hold of you and you'd be like, send me an email. And I send you an email. And I'd wait. Another day you send me that link to your new project. And I was like, all right, Chuck, it's time. You're going to come out of my show.
But, hey, you know, I get a lot of emails.
I know.
Yes,
and I knew that. And I was like, yeah, okay, well, you know, I've been brushed off that way before. I'm not tripping.
Pops. Chuck would never brush you off. He's a busy man.
No, it's just, you know, hey, you promise something and you mean it when you promise it. And then
it's like this, though. Back then, I didn't have a big audience or anything when Mike told me to, you know, I think we just had the little group and
that's never mattered to me.
You know, I mean, I don't even think I had a YouTube network back then when Mike first started telling me I needed to talk to you. I think we were just in the Facebook group, like, because my whole thing started out of the Comic Related Madness Facebook group. You know that. Everything we did, it just started there and then just blew up to everything else. Mike, just one of them people, was around forever. Been there since the beginning, like that guy on the other side of you.
Oh, yeah.
So,
you know.
Hi, my name's Rich. Nice to meet you, Mr.
Nice
Chuck
to meet you as
Dixon.
well.
Rich is
Amazing to have you here.
An artist, and he was an inker at Marvel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was there during the 90s, in the middle of the 90s, right around when they collapsed almost. They almost collapsed upon themselves.
Yeah,
Were you there by chance? Because they had us, what they do, they had us, in the beginning of 1995, they took us to an open bar and all the shrimp we can eat, and then they told us, like maybe a couple hours after we were all drunk that 3/4 of you were going to be gone by tomorrow morning. So
was that
Yes.
Marvel Massacre #1 or #2?
What was the second one?
That was #1.
I don't know. All I know is in the first one, all of my editors got fired, and so
Yes.
my career at Marvel was over.
All of them. Oh my God! Really?
Yeah.
Who were your editors over there? I mean, I remember Nel Yomtov. I remember who else was there? God,
Carl
there were so many
Potts got
editors.
Bob
fired,
Harras.
Yep, Carl Potts.
and Don Daly, and then
Oh, I
actually
haven't heard that name in years. Oh my God, that's right.
it was Marvel Massacre 2 when they fired Tim Toohey, and then that was it. And there was no other editor at Marvel left that would even look at me, let alone hire me.
That's incredible. That is incredible. When Tim Toohey is one of the better ones.
Oh, Tim
Toohey's
Toohey
a
was
good
great.
guy.
Tim Toohey got
He's
in
a
so
great-
much trouble
great
once
guy.
because he handed in an issue of Punisher War Journal 90 days early, and none of the editors would talk to him for weeks.
Why?
Because
Oh, that's right. Tim Toohey was doing his job.
Yeah,
And making sure that things were actually running efficiently, and they must have got really angry with him because he showed them up.
Look, I tell people this all the time, and they don't believe me. But you know this to be true, and I know before I even ask you. The dozens of times that I saw two editors coloring a cover together, one coloring from the top, the other one coloring from the bottom, because they were so close to deadline.
Wow.
Now you
Please,
saw that, right? I saw it a bunch of times.
I was one of Ramita's Raiders.
Right. Yes,
in '94, one of the last ones actually, and
Yeah.
I was there for a good 18 months. And we were busy. We were busy. We were
But
very busy.
It was always panic time. It was always the subs going down.
Every
We're up
week,
to our next
every
order now.
single week. We stayed late until about 10, 11 o'clock on Thursdays. Then we would have to show up like 7 o'clock in the morning on Fridays to make sure we get everything in. And that was when Marvel was putting out like 110, 120 books a month in '94.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Things were booming right then. Yeah.
But they weren't booming at all. That was a speculative market thing more than an actual comic.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. They were throwing out as many titles as they could to ride
Oh,
that
it was
wave.
horrible.
Well, as Tom DeFalco said, he said we're making so much money now we can take some risks. So he was just putting out all kinds of stuff. Just throwing stuff against the wall to see what would stick, which is the way you market comics. So
Oh yeah, but it's when you more than double the amount of titles that you start with.
Right.
And you have the editors who are the ones who are complaining about Tim Toohey, who hire their best friends to draw the books. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, and they would hire each other to write them.
So, Chuck, there's a question from our
circle jerk at Marvel.
Yes.
Oh well.
Question from our chat
Please,
for
follow
Chuck from Brian Kriskow, who is the writer of Six Gun Gorilla.
Oh, cool.
It says, "Pops, you got to grill Chuck on the Batman versus Dirty Harry crossover he was going to do." Is that a
oh
thing?
my God!
Is that a thing?
Yeah. I was a crossover whore. So.
Oh my God!
I was pushing all kinds of crazy crossovers, and one of them was, Dirty Harry comes to Gotham City, and him and Batman cross horns, and
wow,
it went. Warner's loved it, and it went all the way up to Clint, and Clint said, "No, I don't want to be in a comic book."
Oh.
So,
what? Oh,
even though he already was in that Image book. What was the Image
He's
book?
a comic. He himself is a comic book character, for goodness
yeah,
sake.
he didn't like the idea of his likeness being used, and of course,
Oh.
it gotta look like him. Otherwise, it's not Dirty Harry.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had the whole. It was a whole detailed outline and pitch and everything else, but it didn't go anywhere.
There was one of the Image books had a kind of a Nick Fury character that was admitted in Wizard. We ripped on Clint Eastwood for this character. I can't remember who it was though. So long ago.
God.
RJ, I want a copy of that. I want to read that. I don't care if it's just PDF, whatever. I want to read it.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
for real.
Yeah, I'd love to find it. I'll take a look. That was many hard drives ago.
If he wrote it, if RJ wrote it, he should have a copy of it somewhere.
No.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right, Dan. We'll see you this weekend, brother.
So, Chuck, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I'm Doc Blalock. I actually started out in comics back in 93 or 4, but I stayed in the small press, got out of it. I had my degree in psych, so I was a counselor. Came back to comic books recently. And but the guy I worked for, his name was Bob Dixon. Any relation?
Not that I'm aware of. Well, we're all related in some way.
Well, as long as he's not like your favorite nephew or something.
No.
Because
he
still owes me money. He still owes me my paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, he might have been chained to the first Dixon that came over here. Because the Dixons arrived here in chains. We were part of the Jacobite rebellion.
Gotcha.
Dan wants to let you know that without your influence of G.I. Joe and Punisher stories, there would be no World War Hell, which is his project.
Wow, cool. So I've corrupted another mind.
Oh, many, my friend, many minds. So, Tank, look.
Yeah, I was. Hey, Tank.
What is that?
This is the damned right there.
From World War Hell.
That's right, from World War Hell. Pardon my dirty fingernails. I can't find my clippers.
But we're talking to Chuck Dixon right now. So Tank Ferret, Chuck Dixon, Tank Ferret.
Okay. It's all his fault.
You get back on camera. You do not get to hide behind an avatar.
Dude, I am. Look at me. I'm a mess.
You don't get to hide behind an avatar.
Mr. Dixon, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
When you started writing and when you first got in, did you think at any given time when you first started that one day you were going to be influencing other writers to take their stories to the next level like you have? I mean, and how does that make you feel in any way at this point? I mean, I can only imagine how many 100 times it's been done with you already.
Well, I got in because there wasn't anything else in my life I wanted to do. But one of the reasons I thought I could get in is because, I grew up reading comics in the 60s and 70s. And by the 70s, the writing to me, for the most part, was so awful. I thought, my God, I can do better than this.
Jim Shooter wrote some of the stories back then. He was 12, and they were better than a lot of the other stories too. So
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I went, in the 70s, I was going back and reading like EC comics, and I loved Warren comics and stuff like that. And I'm like,
right,
why are DC and Marvel's output so awful? Just talky, wordy. The comics weren't cinematic anymore. I mean, I'm into like Harvey Kurtzman and guys like that. And it's like, what happened to comics? And I want to get in, and I want to, when you're younger, you think you're going to conquer the world. And so I want to get in and make it different.
Oh yeah.
I want to get in. Like,
what title were you gunning for, Chuck? When you were first, what title was it that you had in your head? I need to go write this title.
Well, I definitely was interested in the Punisher a whole lot. So, and still am. But, that's what I was aiming. I was aiming at the street level characters for the most part. I wasn't aiming high. Everybody wanted to write Batman. I never thought I'd write Batman. I thought, well, I'm happy with the backbench characters. Right. I just want to write comics. I just love the medium. Anything they give me. I mean, I tried out for, when Marvel had the Star line, I tried out for Heathcliff comics. I just wanted to write comics.
Right. That's so awesome. Wow. So
when I broke in, if I was a pencil, I would have drawn Forbish Man. If they asked me to, I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't have cared if it was Forbish or Limited Series.
I want to ask Archie Goodwin, what characters does no one want to write? And of course he said, well, everybody wants to write our characters. And I'm like, yeah, come on, Archie.
Right.
Everyone wants to write. And he said, the Hulk.
I want to focus a little bit. I'm an indie guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously everything we promote is all the indies. And you're an indie guy now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I've always been an indie guy because
I work. You know what I'm saying? It's like you sent me all those links. I put them all in the description of the YouTube chat broadcast so that everybody can link on all this stuff. But
Yeah.
If we could go through all of it, anything you want to talk about that you're doing, and whatever you want to promote, that's pretty much what this show is about.
Okay.
And as much as everybody likes talking about the history, if you want to talk about the history, cool, we do that. But at the same time, I want you to be able to feel free to promote what you're doing together.
Well, yeah, I mean, I understand that, but I like talking about comic books. Obviously, it doesn't matter what it is. But yeah, I mean, the hot one for me right now is Hunter Ninja Bear, which only has 3 days left on Kickstarter, and it looks like we might actually make our goal. So we're pretty dang close to getting there. We got another.
Rich is now looking for Hunter.
I'm pulling it right now. The link is in the chat right there, or in the description though. Rich.
Yeah, and Chuck, before Pops dives in deep on what he does, because he loves to look at the campaigns, I'm going to introduce you to Tank Ferret. Tank Ferret is the artist and writer on Scalpel Zero, and the owner of Tank Ferret Presents, which is a multimedia
publishing company. Yeah, cool. We're just getting started.
3 days to go.
So, Tank, this is my old friend Chuck Dixon. Just thought I'd introduce you.
Tank is the one that's putting. Tank is the one that's putting CromCon on the floor live at Savannah Comic-Con next weekend.
Cool.
It'll be the first time we do our show live from the floor of a con. So it's going to be, it's going to be amazing, man.
Honestly, I couldn't have done it without my right hand. World War Hell Dan out there in the chat. He's just risen to the challenge. He's a real rock star. This guy, I mean, he's super creative. We got a tabletop game coming out. We're taking over Games Workshop. Like they want to push away their customers. They want to fake being woke. You know what? They can go broke. We'll gladly accept their customers. We'll be digital friendly. That's what we want. We're just here to entertain. If we make money, that's just a byproduct. That's a signification of it's a good product.
I'm in it for the money. I just,
there's that campaign.
The funny thing about it, and for me, Chuck, is I started doing this when Emerald City went down in 2020.
Okay.
I had this little group of friends that, a lot of them were creatives. Brian Polito was, a founding member of my Facebook group, and when it all went down, when it all went south in Seattle, I messaged my friend Brian and I said, Brian, what are you going to do? And he was like, well, we were lucky and we headed off all of our shipments to Seattle and had it all returned home. So he had a big sale the next weekend online. And I went, wow, that's great. He has this huge following. It was super successful. He made a whole bunch of money. Right. But what about all my other friends? That's when I started doing CromCon. This is the original. I got to show this to you, Chuck, because you got to have a little history about where we come from. This is the original. This paper plate was the first CromCon list, the first list I ever made a schedule for a CromCon. And the only thing I had handy was a paper plate. And you see our final guest was Brian Polito, right? Okay. I've held on to this paper plate ever since because it's where I came from. That's the amount of organizational skills I had. That's, it's like I grabbed the first thing and started writing names down when I suggested doing it. A whole bunch of people come back at me right away. Yeah, I'd love to, because nobody was going to be able to set up any tables all summer long, right? It was over. Wow. So I gave them an online place to show off what they were doing. We're about to do our 27th CromCon, not counting our Europe ones.
Wow.
I've done it consistently every single month since. Once a month, the last weekend of the month. And anytime you want to come out, Chuck, talk about what you're doing, you just like Mike Barron or any of my other good friends, you have an open invite, my friend.
Well, thank you.
We do it every month, the last weekend of the month. And this weekend, it's just going to be wide open because we're going to be live on the floor of the Comic-Con, so there is no real schedule. You never know who's going to walk up on us when,
True.
So, it's just going to be fun. We're going to have online guests and live guests mingling and mixing. And I'm blown away by what's about to happen, man. But it happened because of those guys. I couldn't look. That guy up there, he's my co-host for the show Monday Madness. He also does another show on my channel, the Open Draw stream on Sunday. Tank's like our sponsor and like big hero right now, making things happen. Doc is my co-host for CromCon.
Hey,
I could not let these guys all meet you.
Multiplier.
I could not let these guys all not meet you. I had to let them meet you too, because this is big.
Question from the chat. Hey Chuck, where can we contact you? About writing.
About writing. Well, I mean, I'm on Facebook. You can reach out to me at brunobookstore@gmail.com.
Excellent.
And I have a YouTube channel where I talk a lot about writing.
Mm-hmm. What is your YouTube channel?
It's just called Chuck Dixon. Real simple.
Okay. Wow. That helps me out.
I just did like my 110th episode of Ask Chuck Dixon, where you can just ask me questions.
Nice.
And when I see him, I do share that stuff out, Chuck. Every time I see you live, or every time I see you posted a new show.
Yeah, excellent. I just subscribed. So
thank you.
I can't wait to. Oh, you're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. I can't wait to see some of these episodes. I have a lot. 161 videos.
Yeah, I go kind of deep on the writing. So, because I get some great questions when people ask, and then I always go beyond the question, because people ask me stuff, but some people don't know what to ask.
Yeah.
I'll do an interview. He'll go in depth about a character I wrote or whatever, and then he'll say, "Well, thank you." And I say, "Wait a minute. There's a whole bunch of questions you didn't know to ask." And I'm going to answer them for you. I'm going to ask myself the question and answer them for you.
Great.
One thing I'm sure everyone who hasn't
questions.
Sorry about that.
No, go ahead, Rich.
One thing I would like to ask is the general question. Now, can we play the Hunter Ninja Bear video? Because I want to know what
this is about. See the trailer.
Why not?
We can do it. Hold up. Give me
we have the technology.
I do too, but you can't hear it on my computer. It sucks. Well, okay. I quit. Okay. Oh, really is fantastic. Rob Hunter. Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, so that looks amazing.
Yeah, there you have it. I mean, it's a 360-page graphic novel. I have to stress, it's completed.
That's quite a bit.
Did you say 360-page graphic novel?
Yep, and it is complete. It's completed. It's not one of these, crowdfunders where you got to wait 5 years. It's done. So you'll see it'll be fulfilled pretty quickly after the campaign is over.
Amazing.
That's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck.
360. I can only. How long did this take? This had to have taken at least a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, it was like 2 years. 2 years in production. I mean, it started out as a 12-issue maxi series, and I just wrote an issue a month, and then I would discuss with Tom Finoglio, the publisher at Phenom, who The story was his. Him and his brother Joe came up with the storyline, and then they asked me to write it. And then we would discuss the story, and he said, well, look, what about this element and that element? And then we kept adding pages to every issue.
Oh, God.
So at the end,
man.
We ended up with 12 30-page issues, basically.
Do you see a 6-gun gorilla crossover in the future?
Yeah, why not? I said I was a crossover whore, so yeah, I'll cross over with everybody.
So
Ryan,
Chuck, I got
Ryan,
a DM
I just
question.
gave it to you, bro, right there.
I got a DM question from a writer or an aspiring writer who says, how do you identify artists that you feel best capture I guess what he's saying is, what do you look for in an artist that you think will best capture your style of writing? And forgive my chihuahua, she's my editor-in-chief.
Okay. It sounds like a couple of editor-in-chiefs I've had. Basically, you're looking for a guy that can draw what you need drawn. I mean, I always use the example of a Western. If you're doing a Western, you need a guy that can draw horses and hats. And, a lot of artists can't draw horses and hats.
That's incredible.
I recently proposed a Western to an artist who's one of my favorite guys to work with. I proposed this Western to him, and he says, I don't like drawing horses. Like, I'm not good at it. I was like, wow, you're so amazing at everything. You can't draw horses. And he says, no. He says, I hate it. So, I have to move on. And then you got to ask your artist, because it's a collaborative thing. You can't just go, well, I wrote this. You're the pencil monkey. You must draw what I wrote. You got to collaborate. You got to ask the guy, what do you like to draw? Do you like to draw attractive women? Do you like to draw cars? And we'll tailor the story to your strengths, if we can. Otherwise, you're looking for a guy. I mean, I have an upcoming project, 7 Deadly Sinners. It's a 1970s retro biker flick, done as a graphic novel. And I reached out to Bob C. Harden, who used to draw for cartoons and hot rod tunes. And man, he just knocked it out of the park. He's absolutely perfect guy for the project. So, you just have to think, who would be best, and what can they draw?
And along the lines of what you said earlier, what questions is this writer not asking that need to be answered?
Well, yeah, I mean, finding an artist is tough because you also got to find out the 3 questions for finding an artist is who's good, who's reliable, and who's available. And they've got to meet all 3. And reliability is important because you don't want to get into the middle of a comic project and the guy disappears on you or takes a better paying job.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to find a guy who's going to commit, which means you need money.
That too. It's definitely a combination of all of that. You have to have an artist who has a equal amount of all 3 in there. There's such a thing as being like one of too many, and even though that doesn't sound like it's a bad thing, it actually can be a bad thing because then everything. When it comes to the production from an artist, they one of those 3 elements that you just described can wind up in conflict with each other.
Yeah, and the art thing is so time intensive, and the writing thing really isn't.
It can be, yeah, it can be. I mean, for the other companies that that I worked for, yeah, a lot of time it was very time intensive. But I mean, deadlines are not fun sometimes. They're not.
Yeah, and most guys can't do a page a day, and you need to be able to do a page a day on a monthly. But most guys can't. But that's fine if you're doing crowdfunding indie stuff. You can give them the time, but then you're sweating it. Man, it's a slow motion horse race. You're just sweating it. Graham Nolan did a 10-story anthology, and he said, "Man, I'm never going to do this again because it was like herding cats." Half the artists handed their stuff in immediately, and the rest, pages are trickling in. It's like I got this 100-page book, and I'm waiting on 100 pages of story and art, and it's like, man, it's a nightmare. I told him at the beginning, I said, "You're crazy to do this," but he did it. He got it together. He's a tough guy.
Well, speaking of artists, the artist on Hunter Ninja Bear, did he do all of those pages?
Yeah, it's Mel Ruby all the way through with Bobby C, Rob Hunter on inks. But
Rob Hunter is an exceptional inker. He's an absolutely exceptional inker. I've seen his work.
He brought me in
really, really good.
Yeah,
I'm sorry?
Rob brought me in on the project because he knew the Phenom guys, and he said they're looking for a writer for this thing, and I said you would be perfect.
Look what they got.
Yeah,
they got you, and the writer.
well, it was
just about everything that we've done.
It was a good mix because even though they created the story and almost all the characters, they just let me fly. They were not hands-on.
So they give you creative freedom on this thing with the characters that they already established. Oh, that's fantastic.
As long as I got their characters. I understood their characters, and I changed a little bit toward the end, and they were fine with it. I explained why I had to change it, and they were fine with it. And I added some characters and added some added a lot of situations. I had to do a lot more. They did a lot of research, but I had to do a lot more to find Mel all the visuals he needed. But yeah, I mean, and I had worked with Mel before on The Punisher. I like Mel a lot. He's a good guy.
Admittedly, this is the first time I've seen his work. He's incredible.
Amazing work.
He's good. He is very good. There's not a straight angle. Just from this trailer, there's not one. I did not see one straight 90 or 45 degree angle camera shot at all. It's beautifully varied, and it flows. I mean, just from what I've glanced at, it flows. I mean, you can tell if someone knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, and he is a page a day guy. He can.
Oh man, that's excellent. That's excellent. A page a day with that type of definition, Jesus God.
Yep.
Okay, I just got another message, and this one is a simple one. Jeff Priester, who was an inker at Marvel back in the late 80s, said to tell you hello.
Oh, well, hello. Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Now, I met Jeff in the early 90s. He inked a few pages for me when I was at Pocket Change Comics, and he's a super guy, and he was a John Byrne fanatic. So when he did my pages, I went from looking like what I thought, of course, I looked like George Perez. He made me look like John Byrne. So.
Now, make sure you're telling all your friends to subscribe to the channel, and then they could just ask the chat.
I'm doing it, Pop. So this is not my first rodeo. Thank you very much.
What's up, Jeff? Come on, hang out with us, man. That's what I'm talking.
I think Jeff's at work. And Andy A., who is also a writer and artist and an amazing inker, if I must say, says that Chuck, the world needs a How to Write Comics from the Mind of Chuck Dixon. I suppose he's saying as a book, but of course you've got your great YouTube channel where you're doing that.
Yeah, the YouTube seems to work better for me. And it's not really, I don't do how to. I just go, look, this is how I do it. Maybe you don't do it the same way. Everybody's mind works different. Writers use the wrong part of their brain. And they use a different wrong part of their brain depending on the writer. So I've been asked a lot to write a how-to, and it's just not something that interests me terribly. So
well said, sir.
Well said. Read my stuff and figure it out.
Or watch my YouTube channel.
Or watch my YouTube channel.
There you go. There you go.
I get very specific. Like I said, I'll go deep on how this stuff is done.
I've watched quite a few of your streams. I enjoy them. That's one of the reasons I watch.
And now I'm going to.
Here you go. Mr. Dixon, were there any IPs you ever worked on that you felt artistically constrained on? Like you wanted to do a whole lot more, but the powers that be said, nah, I can't do that.
The one that comes to mind is when I was on Moon Knight. I always had a problem with the Moon Knight character, that he was a Jewish guy who had the powers of an Egyptian pharaoh. An Egyptian wizard. And I said to my editor at the time, I said, I want to explore this Khonshu myth. I said, because there was a time in Egypt prior to Moses when Egypt was run by the Hebrews. They conquered Egypt, and they were the pharaohs. I said, what if Mark Spector finds out that Khonshu was an ancient Hebrew? He was a Jewish scholar or whatever, and so his origins make more sense for him. And they were like, well, we really don't want to advertise the fact that Mark Spector's Jewish. And my editor was Jewish. My editor was Jewish. And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with that? And then I explained it.
That's a great concept. Like you could see Khonshu being one of the aides to Joseph when he was the prime minister.
That's exactly what I said to them. I said, when Joseph was the vizier, the grand vizier, this guy would have been in his coterie. And
Yeah.
they're like, no, we don't want to deal with that. I mean, but it deepens the character and it would have made for a great story.
Yes, it would have. It would have.
And it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change the origin. It just explains it.
Yeah. Wow. That would have been fun. That would have been fun.
That would have been.
So how'd they explain his origin in never mind.
Really? Hey, Chuck, I got to tell you, I'm going to tell on myself. When Mike Barron came out.
I didn't watch that show.
Yeah, I was on.
I didn't either. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
I was on with Pops, and Mike Barron was the guest, and I had a fanboy moment. And I'm telling you this to tell you that we got that out of our system before you came on. So that,
yeah, we did. We spent the whole hour.
So we could sound like not idiots. Mike Barron comes out, and I could feel that Warner Brothers mule head coming up on me as I said it. Who were your influences? And I never felt dumber in my life than asking Mike Barron that question. So I said, I promise I will not ask Chuck Dixon who his writing influences were. So Chuck, who were your writing influences?
Yeah, who were they? It's like,
I don't know why that's not a fair question.
I felt so stupid for asking it.
Well, you shouldn't, because people go, "Oh, you've been asked this a million times." Yeah, but you haven't asked me, and I haven't told you. So,
well, either that or they weren't listening when you told somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. It's like people come up, and, especially when you're at a convention and the guy comes up and you can tell he's nervous and he wants to ask a question, and he always asks a question you've heard a million times, but. What the hell? That's his question. This is his moment, to talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Very generous of you.
Well, I've been on the other side of that table. I mean, I stood on the other side of the table from Jack Kirby. I was like, what the hell do I say to this guy? What can I ask that he hasn't been asked a million times? And I'll tell you, God's honest truth, I met Harvey Kurtzman, and I babbled like an idiot. I wasn't making any sense at all. No words in any known language were coming out of my mouth, and he was so nice to me. He just patted me on the back and yeah, okay, and moved on. And, my oldest son has this mutant ability. When he meets a celebrity, he always knows what to ask them. He always asks them a question that their eyes light up and they're instantly engaged, and they're telling this fabulous story to him about some obscure movie they were in or some friendship they had in the past, because he's got an encyclopedic mind on film and TV and stuff like that. But I do not have those powers, and I would always ask the dumbest question imaginable, like how to do that? Where did you get that idea? And what was it like doing this? So I sympathize. I've been on the other side of the table.
Yep. And that's a very generous way to approach it.
That is, yes.
I can't tell you how much that would mean to. I mean, I'm an older guy now, so I don't worry about stuff. But when I was starting out and I was a young guy, I ran into George Perez, and I had that brain freeze where I couldn't say anything. Sign this, please. So knowing that a person of your stature has that approach at a public appearance or whatever is just wonderful to know.
Well, the first time I worked with Russ Heath, he had a reference question. It took me 3 days to work up the nerve to call him on the phone. And then Russ, he senses it, so he just abused me. And every time after that, he would pretend he didn't know who I was. I mean, just didn't make it easy. but that's what Russ was like. He was a ball. He was a practical.
Oh my God,
the
that's horrible.
Practical joker I've ever met in my life.
That is horrible. That's abuse.
Pops does that to me every time I come on here. He's like, "Who are you?"
But no, Russ was lucky that he didn't get thrown out of windows at the time. Because he did horrible.
Oh my God in heaven. It looks like we have another question here from World War Hell Dan. Says, here's another question, which I just said it was another question. Are there any IPs back in the day that you didn't want to touch with a 10-foot pole? Were there any characters that you would not want to write?
I always thought that if I got assigned Firestorm, I would quit the industry.
That's interesting. Can I ask why?
it just seemed like the dumbest character in the world, and I hated the way he looked. I mean, the costume just looked idiotic, and his hair.
Yeah, it was kind of. He wore like it was like a big sweater on top of three suns that no one could ever draw right. I mean, I agree with you on that one.
A friend of mine got the assignment. He's, I'm writing Firestorm now. I'm like, oh man, oh dude, that's so, he was so happy. And I'm like,
wow, that's swell. That's just great.
Yeah.
I never applied to Marvel Comics because I was afraid that if they accepted me, they say you have to draw Spider-Man. And the thought of drawing all those webs on his costume and getting the number correct every time would have driven me neurotic. So
be glad you didn't apply during the Clone Saga.
Oh my God.
Or anything. That was wow. That was up there. It was a Spider gangster with like the cutoff sweater with the hood. And
the hoodie,
like,
yeah.
Well, all right, there you go. It's like, we're not going to do that.
You gotta think Ditko was designing that outfit and thought, yeah, draw this.
Yeah, exactly.
Follow that,
yeah, definitely. That's what he was thinking. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, see, I made it more gangster. So Steve Ditko didn't know what he was doing at all. It's just
I learned the 4 horizontal up, the 3 horizontal down on the face. And in my little brain, I'm talking about as a teenager, I couldn't work out how they connected on the back, how many were there on the front. And I wondered why there were so many, like when Ramita was doing him, why is there so many silhouette shots?
Now you know.
Well,
you know the saying, when in doubt, black it out. So
yeah, that's true. The Vince Coletta did that a lot, from what I understand.
They all do it. Trust me, it wasn't only Vince.
I know that's horrible.
I know guys who ink their own work and do it.
Well, that's one thing. That's entirely different. That's a force of will. It's like, oh crap, what do I do? Do I stay up all night, or would I like to actually have breakfast? All right, let's do this. But then it's like when you hand it to someone, you put in the most. I heard a horror story that someone drew in an entirely defined and full of detail garage. And I don't know if it was actually Vince Coletta who did it or somebody else, but an inker just went in and just made it black. Yep. Like there was no sunlight or anything. And it's like, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I would kill this man if that was the case. Oh, God.
At conventions like early 70s, they used to display the double-page spread by Kirby that Coletta refused to ink. It was just this pencil double-page spread.
Yeah.
So Kirby had to redraw it, so it was simpler.
Yep.
So
I heard the same thing, Rich.
RJ got a question.
Yes, please.
He wants to know, how do you swallow the loss of seeing an IP you created become something entirely different than what you introduced?
Oh, RJ, you stole my thunder, you bastard.
Well, you learn early on to turn your heart to stone. And the moment that you turn your heart to stone is the first time you have to deal with Hollywood. And then you just, after that, you just don't care anymore. You just go, look, as long as you get my name right on the check, I really don't care. When you're in your 100th production meeting and they say, well, we want to turn the teenage girl in this story to like a middle-aged man. It's like, go ahead.
Yeah. Whatever, stroke the check.
Just, when you back the truck full of money up to the house, don't hit the mailbox.
Yeah.
That would be in line with like modern society, because most middle-aged men act like teenage girls anyway these days. So.
That is true. That is true.
That might have been the reasoning. I don't know, but they were producers, so who knows what they're thinking.
And Mike Walters, I don't know exactly who you're directing the question at, but here we go. What is your take on the National Periodical versus Fox featured publications in regards to Will Eisner's Wonder Man? Anybody want to field that one? Go ahead.
What? Why would Mike?
Mike, maybe you want to clarify that a little bit for us. And
okay.
Dan asked, was there any IP that you wished you could have worked on, but it never happened? It never happened for you.
No, I've at least been able to dabble in just about everything. I got to write a little Fantastic Four. I've gotten to write Lone Ranger. They were the ones I wanted to go after. But I did 11 years on Batman. Never thought I'd get that. So
right.
11 years on Batman. That's.
Now, see, I lost track of you, Chuck, after War Journal, because that's when my career as a counselor was really taking off. I didn't have time for anything.
Right.
So I was delighted to find out you were still not just around and kicking, but still publishing stuff. So.
Oh yeah. I don't stop.
Fantastic.
I'm like a shark. I just keep moving.
And eating. Eating content. Here it comes.
Well, you're approaching your, without trying to make it sound like being ageist or anything. You're approaching your 40th year.
Yeah.
As a writer in comics, that type of longevity is almost uncommon these days at this point.
Well, I never specialized. I think that's the secret. I was never just all superheroes.
Well, define specialize. What do you mean by specialize?
I just want to write superheroes, or I just want to write horror.
Okay.
Like I said before, I love the medium. So when they approached me to write SpongeBob SquarePants, I'm like, yeah, bring it on. That'd be a blast.
Wow, that would be awesome.
I knew all the guys involved, and I knew what they were looking for, and it was kind of the same thing I want to do. I wanted to really experiment with the medium using SpongeBob, but stuff like that. I mean, I did the Simpsons. I wrote children's books before I got into comics. I wrote Raggedy Ann and Andy and Winnie the Pooh word books and stuff like that. So
that's fantastic.
Which was not what I wanted to do, but it paid the bills. But
right.
Well, it also give you a professional perspective on what to possibly expect outside of that.
Well, it taught me, what real publishing companies do. So I was prepared when I went to comics that they weren't real publishers. they weren't.
Yeah, well.
When I did children's books, I mostly dealt with the sales department instead of editors. I would pitch to the sales department. I learned early on, pitch to the sales department, and that's how I got most of my jobs at Marvel. I would go up to the marketing department and go, "Could you sell this?" And they go, "Yeah," and then go down to Tom DeFalco. Said marketing says they could sell the hell out of this. Okay.
That's a really approach. Interesting tip. I'm going to write that down.
Because
thank you.
I was with the head salesman at Platt & Monk one time, and we came up with the idea for a Winnie the Pooh word book. This big oversized book. And he says, "Well, let me make a call." And he calls the Kresge family who own Kmart, and he gets off the phone.
Oh, okay.
He says they'll buy 50,000 copies. Get to work.
Because money talks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we sold
My
$500,000.
God.
So.
Oh, goodness
So
gracious.
were there any situations where the editor wanted you to change something, but you dug in your heels and said, "Nah, I ain't doing that"?
Yeah. Actually, it was on a Raggedy Ann and Andy book.
Oh my God!
Oh, that's great.
You're going to love this. They came up with the idea for a book called Raggedy Ann and Andy Go Flying. And their concept was that Raggedy Ann and Andy climb on the back of a Canadian goose and go flying. And of course, the goose gets tired of this after a while and throws them off, and they fall to earth.
Oh my God!
So my solution to that was, well, Andy grabs Raggedy Ann by the ankles, and all of her many pinafores and skirts bail out and make a parachute. They drift gently to earth. And I thought, that's a cute ending. And they said, well, but when he grabs her ankles and he's dangling below her, he can see up her skirt.
Oh my God.
And I said, look, first of all, she's wearing, pantaloons and all this other stuff, bloomers. There's nothing to see. Secondly, she's a doll. There's nothing to see if she was naked.
Andy's a gentleman.
Thirdly, they're brother and sister. I said, what kind of minds do you people have? And
right.
I dug my heels in. I said, I'm not changing it. If you want to change, you have to get another writer. And finally, they caved, and they said, okay, right.
God.
So
that is absolutely good. Brian is Winnie the Pooh / a movie Blood and Honey.
Oh my God.
Well, I had proposed Winnie the Pooh's Naughty Friends at one point.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. I'm wow. All right. Jesus, God help me.
Chuck, you don't know, Rich. We're not going to hear the end of this for a while.
I'm trying so hard
We're going to be hearing Winnie the Pooh.
Yes,
parodies
after you
flying.
leave, Mr. Dixon, I am gonna be a gentleman. I will be nice and tame. I'm gonna be a good boy. When you leave, I will not stop about Winnie the Pooh and Raggedy Ann for about a week. That's gonna be the end of it.
Rich.
I know exactly.
Hold up. Save it for the draw stream, Rich.
Yes, that's what I'll do. I'll save it for the draw stream, and that's going to be the end of it. Or I'll just do it every single live show that I'm on.
Well, you can just get it out of your system by drawing whatever you come up with.
Well, I've been drawing something a little bit this, that, and the other while we're all talking here and everything. And it's I mean, not just like that. I mean, it's like a lot of the questions that everybody asked here, they kind of stole my thunder. There's a lot of stuff I wanted to ask. No, that's okay. I don't mind. I mean, I'm happy
answers,
that
right?
there's an audience that just as varied as I am.
I love it, man. That's part of what we do. We have a very interactive chat. We encourage people
absolutely.
to all share their links to their own projects and cross-pollinate. And we also encourage the crossovers as well, Chuck. I don't know if you know, but we have a project of our own called the Cromniverse.
Oh Lord, here it comes.
Which is an anthology with you see that little green guy right here next to us?
Yeah.
That guy. That's Crom. See?
Oh,
okay.
God.
And he wasn't never created to be a comic book character or anything, but he took on a life of his own. He got drawn as the logo for the Comic Related Madness for the Facebook group. And then just took on a life of his own. He got named, and we have people that have written stories and drawn all kinds of cool stuff and put together an anthology. I love crossovers too. My little guy Crom crosses over with a whole bunch of other people's IPs, and like even Doc's version of Crom right there. See, we have a whole bunch of them, but it's like that is. Crossovers and stuff is what got me into comics. The very first comic I saw was Defenders 10, which was Hulk and Thor at the end of the Avengers Defenders crossover for the Evil Eye. That was the first comic book I ever picked up and went, yo.
Well, in a recent video, I talked about how crossovers might be the savior for mainstream comics. With comic sales down for the major publishers, if I were in charge, I would turn to crossovers you couldn't possibly not be interested in. Crossovers
as long as they don't cover 36 titles and 84 issues, and 50 of those issues only have one panel in the book that has anything to do with the story.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that kind of crossover. I'm talking about I gave examples Freddy Krueger meets Predator.
Yeah, I want straight story crossovers, not the.
There's that, yeah.
I
mean, there's also JLA Avengers. There's
the way they did the Asgardian, the Asgardian War, whatever the hell it was called. That was what just killed it for me. It was like, no, you guys are reaching for way too many titles that don't have anything to do with. The actual story, it's like they just ruined it for me, overdoing the crossovers. I like when you have the one that got me into comics, the Avengers and Defenders. It went from one title back to the other, back and forth. It didn't branch out into 30 other titles just for one panel of art or one panel of story.
Well, the problem is on intercompany crossovers is there's no reason to trust them anymore because they've blown it on so
many. There isn't. I heard.
Mine come up with the most outrageous crossover idea you could possibly imagine and just throw it against the wall. Instead of because
they had Punisher and Archie. They teamed up.
Oh God, I was so angry when that came out.
I can't even imagine.
I was working on Punisher Batman, and here comes Punisher Archie. And I said to Don Daly, I said, damn it, the first time he crosses over, it's with Archie. You couldn't wait until Punisher Batman was out and make that.
Oh my God, that is horrible.
Chuck,
That's too much.
Chuck, there's a question from this goober, Doc Blalock. Faulkner said, to be a writer, all you need is whiskey, tobacco, ink, paper, and a little solitude. What's your take on that?
Well, I don't drink and I don't smoke, so I don't know how I've managed. I did meet a writer once who said he didn't drink coffee. And I said, well, then who writes your stuff?
If I may interrupt for a second, I'm American, but I live in the UK and it's 11 o'clock. I'm considerably tired.
Yes.
Yeah. I usually get up at about 4 or 5, and right now it's 11 p.m. over here. I wanted to say it's an honor to have met you, and I hope I get a chance to be on the same show as you again, because I'll think of some interesting questions the next time I speak with you if I do. And thank you, Pops, for bringing me here, and thanks everybody for being awesome as they usually are. Mr. Dixon, I bid you adieu.
It's been a pleasure.
The pleasure is mine as well. I'll see you cats later, all right, man?
Later on, Rich.
See you, Rich.
All right. See you cats later.
People who do not drink coffee do not love the Lord or hold open doors for little old ladies, and they are not to be trusted. Just putting that out there.
I didn't drink coffee until I went to my first Bat Summit. And then everybody wasn't just drinking coffee. They were just all about coffee. Like, where's the coffee? When is the coffee getting here? And I said, wow, all these talented writers in this room, maybe I should look into this coffee thing.
So the secret, you heard it here, to Chuck Dixon's success really began with coffee.
Yeah, it really took off then. I was doing okay, but then the coffee, that really made the difference.
So, World War Hell Dan is another question. Are you ever thinking about doing any more war stories? He would really love to see more of them.
Yeah, because we want to throw money at you.
I have a war story that I can't talk about.
There you go.
The art's almost complete. It'll be announced within the next month or so. I'm not a hyperbole guy. I'm not Stan Lee. Everything I write isn't fabulous. But this one's going to blow your socks off.
There you go.
It's a Vietnam era story.
And you heard it here first, Dan. You heard it
the
here
artwork
first.
is staggering, and the concept is amazing. And the guy I worked on it with is a household name, and I think you're going to love it.
Oh, fantastic. You keep us up to date, of course.
Sure will.
Man. I like Dan. I'm a big World War II enthusiast, historian. Sergeant Rock and Sergeant Fury were just some of my go-tos back in the day, so I can't wait to see what you come up with.
Well, I do a regular series of Medal of Honor comics for the Association for the United States Army. So if you go to ausa.com and look for graphic novels, they're free. You can read them all.
Oh, you better believe I will.
I've done about, I think, 16 of them now. And Audie Murphy, Tom Custer.
Give me that again. I'll drop the link for it.
It's AUSA. I think it's .com. If you just put in AUSA graphic novels and my name, it's going to take you right there.
All right.
But we did Roy Benavidez, which those stories are just freaking jaw-dropping. We did Sergeant York. I mean, I thought I knew about these guys, but then when I read the citations and all the research material, these guys were superheroes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Superheroes.
I was a corpsman in the Navy, and I was very proud to see on every quarterdeck of a land command are all the hospital corpsmen from the Navy who won the Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
More corpsmen have won it than any other subgroup in the military.
Seriously. Yeah, I mean, these are restricted to the Army, which I keep proposing guys, and they go, "No, he's a Marine." Oh, damn.
Well, you tell them I said.
Well,
Marines and sailors are people too. Come on now.
The Navy and the Marines and the Air Force to have these books too. But they should come to me, and I'll do stories for them as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
I wish Master Chief Dawkins was still alive. He was the command master chief on Noah's Ark, so he's long gone by now. But he would have just simply ordered the Navy to do it, and they would have done it.
So Chuck. Doc and I were talking earlier, And both of us, like right at the same time, were like, "The Hobbit." Was it fun?
Yeah,
doing Tolkien's work in a graphic novel form. I mean,
yeah. It had a weird beginning because it started when Dean Mullaney, who was the publisher of Eclipse, a guy brought him an uncopyrighted early manuscript of The Hobbit, which was significantly different from the published novel, but there was no copyright; it was public domain. And so he sent me a Xerox of it, and I began working on the graphic novel while he dealt with the Tolkien estate. And Tolkien estate was like, "No, we don't want to do a comic. We hate comics. Comics are for idiots." And he's like, "Well, I'm going to do this one anyway. You can either make money off it or you cannot." And finally they saw the light and said, "Okay, we'll authorize." So then Dean calls me and says, "Throw away those Xeroxes and get out your paperback copy of The Hobbit and start adapting that."
There you go.
That's how it started. And to this day, it's the most successful project I've ever worked on. It's always a bestseller somewhere in the world. So
one of my break-in efforts, Chuck, was I thought I was going to be unique and different when I was 25 or 26. I was going to illustrate The Lord of the Rings as a comic book series. And of course, I don't think I made it past the long expected party. Because no. And then I discovered your work, and I was just blown away. I was like, okay, I wasn't the only one that had this idea, so this is cool.
No, it was great. I mean, I probably, in the course of adapting it, probably had to read the novel like 23 times and still loved it. So, and I'm not a big fantasy guy, but I always liked The Hobbit. I always loved The Lord of the Rings.
Same. I don't care for fantasy, but I love The Lord of the Rings.
I don't know why anybody writes fantasy after Lord of the Rings. It's like, this is the last word. Why would you even go near this genre?
Thank you. That's like you shot Superman in the chest once and it didn't work. Why did you throw the gun?
Yeah.
You know, Tolkien already did it. It's done. Move on.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And one of the things I wanted to ask you is, are there any writers of fiction, and let's just say contemporary, that you would love to get a hold of one of their works and adapt it?
Oh boy. Me currently writing?
Just let's say let's just say Tom Clancy, for example.
No, not Tom Clancy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Contemporary. I can't think of anyone I would want to go near. I mean, there's lots of guys I love, but I'm like, wow, I would not want to have to adapt that into a comic book. Or they wouldn't want to adapt it into a comic book. I mean, I love Cormac McCarthy, and he would probably hit me with a chair if I ever said, "Hey, I want to do a comic book based on, No Country for Old Men" or something like that.
Right.
But stuff in the past. I'd love to do a graphic novel adaptation of the novel The Dirty Dozen.
Oh, there you go. That would be great.
Now, that would have to be 360 pages.
All right. So Mike just DM'd me and said, to make sure that I got this clarification out here. He said the case he was referring to is the first case in regards to DC Comics taking publishing companies to court over Superman. The case he was referring to predates the Captain Marvel Fawcett lawsuit. Do you have any thoughts on it, Chuck?
Well, DC, I don't know. They were suing everybody that, had any kind of character that was in long underwear and a cape, thinking that they're ripping off Superman.
Yeah.
I wish they'd left Fawcett Publications alone. I'm not that familiar with Wonder Man, but I wish they'd left Captain Marvel alone. They just sued Fawcett until Fawcett was just too exhausted to keep going on. Just like, hey,
right.
Okay, we'll just go back to doing crossword puzzle books. We'll get out of comics.
Yes.
That and the Senate hearings, they're like, screw it. With the Comics Code thing, we're not into it. We're just leaving. And a lot of companies did. A lot of companies just said they're just not going to do comics anymore.
Yeah.
It's a shame because the Captain Marvel character was left fallow. And it's never been done right since. So.
All right. So, Mike, I hope that answered your question about Chuck's take on the whole thing. And I agree. Come on. Stop trying to hoard everything. They're not all your toys, DC or Marvel.
Right. And they didn't even protect it. So we're stuck with Shazam. I mean, what's Shazam? It's like, he's Captain Marvel.
Right. And I always loved the Captain Marvel design. But the writer side, I write and draw. So the writer side of me, though, could never wrap my brain around if I could say a magic word and turn into Superman, why would I ever turn back? So, him going back to being Billy Batson as a kid, I was like, no, see, I would stay.
It's a really weird concept because he doesn't actually turn into Billy Batson. Billy Batson doesn't actually turn into Captain Marvel. It's sort of like Billy Batson is here, and then he says the word, and he is replaced by an entirely different person. He for all intents and purposes, Billy Batson is gone. We don't know where he is, but he's gone. He's replaced. It's not an alter ego. It's an entirely different person. It's a really weird concept.
And so when Billy's walking around, Captain Marvel is just somewhere in limbo. Also,
yeah, he's in ether somewhere. It's like he doesn't exist, and it's like
that would be great to see.
But only a child can understand these things because our suspension of disbelief is like totally wide open.
Yes.
Because I remember when I was taking catechism and the nuns were talking about the Trinity, how hard it was to understand, and I'm like, it's not that hard. I mean, Superman is Clark Kent. They're both
exactly. Exactly right.
You got a bunch of people in the chat telling you what they want you to do, bro.
Whoa, wait a minute. It's not that kind this isn't that kind of podcast, is it?
You got I would love Mr. Dixon to do a late 80s story where the Cold War goes hot. Wow, Chuck would be great at adapting the Harry Flashman books.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Would love to see Chuck take on the adaptation or New Adventures of Remo Williams in comics form. It's like
I read them.
And I threw the 6-gun gorilla Hunter Ninja Bear crossover at you. So, it's like your fans are interested in what you do.
Well, hats off to the Harry Flashman. The guy said Harry Flashman. Yeah, I love those books.
That was COVID Kev.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I reread Flash with a Charge every year. I've read that book 40 times now.
Now, see, that's me on The Lord of the Rings. At least once a year, I got to read through it all. Wow. Start to finish. Don't put it, don't stop. Just read through it.
Wow. That's devotion.
Here we go.
Love it. Never gets old.
Nope.
I hate to step in here, but I got to get running, folks. It's absolutely an honor hanging out here. And we'll talk, Chuck. We'll talk, man.
All right.
I want to throw egregious amounts of money your way.
Please do.
Yeah.
Tank. Hopefully, I'll see you either Thursday or Friday.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And I can't wait, man. And I hope that, and we'll talk. Because I want to make sure that I got some stuff there at the VIP party that you can eat. That's friendly to your diet. Because I love to cook. I love to cook.
Listen, I eat anything except beets, liver, or olives. Period.
All right. Well,
no, I do not skip the poetry. Critical Blast, RJ.
All right, everybody out there in TV land, you have yourselves a wonderful one. And until next time, Charlie Mike.
See you, Tank. Now, see, we would say Charlie Oscar. Carry on.
Yeah.
All right, chased off another one.
So is there anything else on that list of links that you sent me that you wanted to talk about, Chuck?
Well, I got a new Levon Cade novel out. These novels I started writing when I wasn't getting enough comic work. I've always been a comic book writer first and foremost, never had any plans of being a novelist, but there comes a time when you got to do something so you can look across the dining room table at your family, with pride in your eyes. So, like I'm actually contributing here. So I started writing the Levon Cade novels, and this is the 10th one. It's called Levon's Prey. Levon was created to scratch my Punisher itch. He's a vigilante.
Okay. Let me get this up here real quick. So
he's an Alabama boy. He's different from Frank Castle. He has a daughter. He has a young daughter to look after. He's a single dad. And he gets himself in all kinds of trouble. And the thing that confuses some readers, and it's the cause of like a couple of negative reviews on Amazon, is they don't get it that this guy's not perfect. Because like Frank Castle, he's not perfect. He makes mistakes. And mistakes lead to bloodshed.
Yeah, that was always the appeal to me of particularly the War Journal stuff.
Yeah.
Was you never tried to play Frank Castle off as even heroic. He was heroic,
Right.
but he was a very flawed human being.
Yeah, he was a rough man, doing the rough work,
Mhm.
but he was never, he caused most of his own problems.
Yeah.
That's the perfect Punisher story. The perfect
Ye-
Punisher story is when he kills some, scumbag, low-level drug dealer who turns out to be the nephew of a mafia don.
Right, right. Yes. Which actually happened in real life. I was just watching something about uh, growing up Gotti, that he actually whacked the wrong person,
Wow.
and had a consequence happen because of it.
Wow. Wow. Well, I mean, that's like the history of the mafia. They hit the wrong guy at the wrong time. And all
Yeah.
these gangs, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's a problem for them now because they seem to want to just kill everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
These gangs really don't care who they kill.
Yeah. Back
I
in the
don't
day, the
think they expect
gangsters
to
had
live with
class. They had standards.
Well, they did. They did. You didn't go after the person. You didn't go after the guy's kids or his wife or anything like that.
Right.
Now they don't seem to give a crap.
Right. Right.
I mean, they'll shoot up a funeral.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I'm trying to see. Oh, Critical RJ says RJ is Critical Blast. He said in later versions, Billy Batson was in Captain Marvel's body. When he had a crush on Stargirl, Jay Garrick noticed the looks they shared and pulled Captain Marvel aside. Okay.
That's insane. That's just wrong.
I,
You're getting it wrong at that point. So
yeah, I lost track of DC probably in the 70s. I was just hardcore Marvel. I remember the first storyline that really roped me in was the Korvac saga, and the Avengers. Just amazed me to see all those heroes together. But I could never figure out, Chuck, as a kid with that suspension of disbelief, if the X-Men are fighting this Earth-threatening thing, and the Fantastic Four are, and the Avengers are, but they're not the same thing. Are they fighting them all at the same time? Is the Earth always in that kind of danger? Why aren't they teaming up? Why don't they help each other? And then of course later we had Infinity Gauntlet and all that stuff.
yeah. I mean, that's the question we always got on Batman. If he's having such a hard time, why doesn't he just call in the Justice League?
Right.
Because he's Batman.
That's exactly right. He doesn't need those guys.
Yeah, he's an egotistical prick. He doesn't want them showing up in Gotham.
Well, yeah, now I am a counselor, just recently retired, but I'm going to ask you, Chuck, since you wrote both Batman and Punisher, how would you diagnose those guys?
Well, I kind of had in the Batman Punisher crossover, I kind of had the Joker psychoanalyze them, and it's that Batman is a result of a childhood trauma,
Right.
and so he reacts as a child would, even as an adult. He dresses up
Right.
in a costume, hides his identity.
Mhm.
Frank Castle, his trauma was as an adult, so he acts like an adult. He goes to war.
Right.
No mask. He doesn't care if they know who he is. So that's what it really gets down to. I mean, what
Cool.
do these guys want? Frank Castle just wants to kill every hood he can. He'll never make it up to his family. Batman, it's a vow to his parents.
Mhm.
And it's the difference between two characters' appeal too. I mean, the Punisher is an adult wish fulfillment character.
Right.
We all wish we were Frank Castle when they're giving us, shit at the DMV or something. And, Batman is a childhood fantasy character.
So the Punisher is literally like a career of the movie Falling Down.
Yeah. He's every negative male stereotype wrapped up in one character.
Yeah. But as far as Batman goes, I mean, is he, in your mind, is he narcissistic? Is he borderline personality disorder? I mean, do you have a kind of a psychology in your mind of where his head is at, that there's
he's an authoritarian figure. I mean, he has to be in charge of any room he's in because he feels like he has the expertise. The thing is, you show up and you're just a normal guy, and you show up in a room full of freaks. A guy that runs fast, a guy that has a magic ring, guy from Mars. and you're like, well, they're all relying on this ability they have.
Right.
They need an intellect to guide them. They need a cold light of reason because they'll just go flying off thinking, hey, I can handle this.
Right.
I'll just make a big green hammer and that'll solve all the problems. And Batman's like, no.
Right.
So you need a more analytical mind. So he almost looks upon them, in my mind, as if they have a handicap.
Yeah, they're kids and they need a grown up to supervise them so they don't hurt themselves.
Except for Superman. Batman would feel Superman's an equal to him.
And that's very telling. Superman alone, he sees as an equal.
Yeah, because Superman's another character who uses his intellect. I mean, everybody talks about his superpowers and he's godlike and everything else, but the best Superman challenges are always intellectual. They're always ones like, how do I solve this problem? And Jimmy and Lois come out the other end alive, and I don't kill anybody, and I don't knock the whole city down.
Right, exactly. The opposite of what we've seen recently in theaters coming soon near you.
Exactly. So that's lazy writing. Superman's a tough character to write and write well.
Yeah. If you've got a character that can do anything, then you really got to stretch your brain to do good stories for him.
Yeah, and they make fun of the Mort Weisinger era of Superman, but you read those stories, and it's like those guys actually gave a crap. And those stories, as silly as they are and as contrived as they are, at the bottom make sense within Superman's reality. And they come up with some pretty clever situations to put him in.
Best editor you ever worked for?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I just want you to know this story right here is one of my favorite Punisher stories.
Road to Ruin. Yeah.
I forget who the interior artist on that was.
Oh, geez, I can find out real quick.
Was that Romita on the cover, Junior?
Yeah, it's Romita Jr. on the cover.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say Gary Quapis maybe on Journal because we did a lot of Journal together. But the favorite editors. I mean, I like different editors for different reasons. When I first started working on Batman, and Archie Goodwin came over from Marvel, and I was telling Denny, I said, I get the sense that Archie knows how much I idolize him, and it makes him uncomfortable. And I try to hide it, but I don't think I'm hiding it successfully because I just think Archie was the greatest.
Let me ask a better question, Chuck.
Wait a minute. And then Denny said, do you idolize me? And I said, no.
Todd Fox was the interior penciler.
Oh, Todd, my buddy Todd.
And Glynis Oliver did the colors.
Okay. And probably Enrique Villagran on inks?
It doesn't show me an inker.
I'll bet it's Enrique Villagran.
It says that Ron Garney was the cover penciler of that.
Oh, really? Wow.
So, Chuck, what makes a good editor? Was a better way to ask that question.
Well, a good editor is they understand what you can do, and then they let you do it, and they only step in when you're going wrong. Okay, so a good editor kind of finds talent. They analyze the talent, and they say, well, this is what this guy's capable of. He's a good fit for this title. Let's see what he does. And then, of course, a good editor will sit and talk to you, make sure you share an understanding of the character. I mean, Denny did that. He made sure that his writers understood who he thought Batman was. So we were all on the same page. And generally, I agreed with him entirely on his approach to Batman. And so he hired writers he knew he could work with. And then he let you fly. And he didn't step in. He was very hands-off. And when you know your editor has that kind of faith in you, you can do anything. I mean, you're not sitting there second guessing. I've had a lot of editors sitting there second guessing, like, man, he won't like this, or I'm not sure this is what they want. But with Denny, it was like, write the Batman you're comfortable with. I mean, I called Denny once when we were doing the lead up to Nightfall, and nobody knew we were leading up to Nightfall. And we were basically breaking Batman down. He was nearing the point of sheer exhaustion. And I wrote a scene where he's staking out a guy. He's like crouched on a window ledge watching this guy. And he falls asleep. I'm not sure Denny would like that. So I called Denny and I told him the scene. He goes, no, that's great. That's exactly what we're looking for. That's exactly. He says that'll be more shocking to readers than almost anything else. That Batman falls asleep.
What a human thing to happen.
Right. He doesn't pee himself.
Right.
But he falls asleep.
Yeah. I had a great boss one time when he hired me. He said, my job is to give you what you need to do your job and then get out of your way.
Yep.
Your job is to make me look good.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I tell my artists. Is your job is to make me look like a genius.
Past Master Dan RJ is Critical Blast. So, chat, any questions for Chuck Dixon while he is graciously donating his time to hanging out with us? We'll give them a minute to type something up.
I'm wide open.
I do have a question. I want to know, not another pro, but you've been at a convention and just had the ultimate weird experience with a fan or a vendor or administrator. Tell us one of those horror stories.
I did a New York show once, early 90s. This is like the peak when comics were just blowing up. And I had the scariest fan I've ever had. This guy was just intense. And he just shows up and the con was packed, just packed. Right. And this is the time when I'm on Robin and a bunch of other stuff. And my lines are like out the door for signing. And this guy pulls up his own chair opposite me. And he's just going to stay there forever. And he was just, I never saw him blink. And he was bathed in sweat the whole time. I mean, he was beads of sweat on him.
Whoa.
Like a marathon runner. And it got really weird when he started interrupting the people who were asking me questions and then interrupting my answers, saying, well, that's not what you said in Comic Reader issue number 78. I'm like, what? This guy was, it wasn't flattering that he was so familiar with my body of work. It was frightening. It was level. I never saw him again after that. And my buddy Flynn Henry said, well, he probably ran into a fan crazier than him. He pushed him in front of a subway car or something.
Dropped him down an elevator shaft.
Yeah, something. But
wow.
I never
How
saw
did
him
you get
again.
rid of
I
him?
can't say I'm sorry, but he was terrifying. The other terrifying fan, I mentioned Flynn Henry, was Flynn Henry had a guy showed up at a con and says, I got a tattoo of Grimjack that you drew on my back, right? And we're like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then he takes his shirt off.
Yeah.
Turns around. He didn't have a tattoo of Grimjack. It's like on his shoulder. He had like an entire cover covering his entire back.
Wow.
And I was like, man, you bet that guy's going to be waiting for you in the parking lot.
So, how did you get rid of the chair sitter?
Flint kind of ran interference for me, and he says, let's go to lunch, and we just sort of disappeared for a couple hours. And when we came back, he was gone.
There you go. Always have a wingman.
Yeah.
Safety tip number 1.
Exactly. But if I ever wanted to be armed at a convention, that was the only time.
Yeah. Facing Batman's grandfather clock, is the kitchen on the left or the right? Says COVID Kev.
That was a question. Yeah, if you're facing it, it's on the left. That was a discussion. Now is he coming up something obscure like my stalker? Because that was that's a story I often tell. We were at a bat summit. We were at a bat summit, and somebody brought up. It was the scene where Batman is coming at the climax of Nightfall. Batman is returning to Wayne Manor. And he finds Alfred unconscious on the floor, and of course Bane steps out of the shadows. And we're discussing this scene, and it was the writers and the artists, everybody was there. And somebody said, and then Batman turns to the right, and Bane's coming out of the kitchen area. And Doug and Alan and I simultaneously said, no, kitchen's on the left. And then we all looked at each other like, how do we know that? And why do we all believe the same thing?
How do you know that? Is there a floor plan of Gotham?
No. It was after that we had Graham Nolan draw up floor plan. It was just like, this is something we all intuited for some. It was really a weird, surreal moment that we all total agreement on where the kitchen was in the Wayne Manor in relation to the grandfather clock.
Is Two-Fisted Manly Men or whatever still in demand? If so, go over there and check that out for Graham.
Yeah, it might be. It might be. So.
I'm trying to keep up with the chat. It bounced a little quick on me there.
Yeah, moving.
They're talking amongst themselves too.
For our people that drop links, please drop Graham Nolan's link. Seeing as how he was brought up in here, give him a little plug. Thank you.
And somebody be sure to drop the link for Pariah Blood and Mud so Chuck Dixon can sign right up.
All right.
I had another question about convention stuff because I sat at one on Artist Alley way back in the day with a nobody named Ben Edlund, and the tick was a thing, and I didn't know it was a thing. And then I found the tick, and it's still the funniest thing I think I've ever read. But I had no weird experiences other than running into George Perez and not being able to speak. So that was the scariest guy. Give us your funny story. Give us your funniest.
Oh, geez.
I'm a counselor. I like to ask these questions.
Yeah, I'm man. As soon as I get off of this, I'm going to think of 16 of them. Yeah, I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Okay, all right.
There's always weird stuff happening at cons. I always refer to the 7 deadly fans, that there's 7 different kinds of fans.
Come on with it. Tell us.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember all 7, but the one is the surrogate. I call him the surrogate because he brings a child and then pushes the child towards you. The child doesn't know who you are. Generally looks either bored or terrified. And then he'll say, Bobby is your biggest fan. He's read everything by you. Ask him a question, Bobby. Ask him a question. And it's like Bobby doesn't know anything. His dad wants the question asked, but he doesn't have the cojones to ask it.
That's funny.
The other guy, I forget what I call him. He's only talking to you because there's another guy he really wants to talk to. So he's asking you questions, but he's never looking at you. He's like, he's looking for Neil Gaiman the whole time. So that's the other guy. I can't remember the others, but there's 7 deadly fans.
That's funny.
I have to do a book about them. But.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. You need to you literally need to do a description and then get somebody to illustrate each one for you.
Well, I'll tell you one time I was at the Mid-Ohio Con. I was with Tom Lyle, and we were driving. We were living in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So we're driving back from wherever it was in Ohio down the Pennsylvania Turnpike. And we both, have to pee, So we get off, go to the rest stop. And Tom and I are at the urinals, this long back urinals. And 2 guys show up, and they come in. And, after a con, everybody looks like they were at the con. They're like, I think I saw that guy at the con. Well, these 2 guys were at the con. So they get in the urinals either side of us and start peppering us with questions. and it's like, as you can see, I'm a real patient, easygoing guy. But Tom lost it. He's like, are you serious? Are you serious? We're at the urinals, and you're asking these dumb questions. So,
I've got a hard and fast rule. I don't answer questions when I'm taking a leak. I'm just saying.
Everybody knows that rule. You don't look at each other. You don't.
That's right. Don't make eye contact. You'll die instantly.
Exactly. You don't know who you're talking to. What's next? You're going to take a peek? I mean, come on.
I remember like what you talked about, but as a counselor, my professor in college had told me, never practice in the town you live in. You'll never get a moment's peace.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't believe him. So sure as shoot, one day I go to a restaurant and I sit down and I'm getting a bite to eat. And the guy I had just seen an hour before plunks down across from me and he goes, well, let me ask you another question. And I was like, oh my God. So I ended up, I got out of that one. He did it again. And I just said, look, you put $150 on the table, you can have another hour. Right? Otherwise, I'm trying to eat.
Otherwise, our time is up.
Yeah. Well, you know what the music means.
That's why Doc.
All you people sending Doc them inbox messages, send them with a PayPal.
What?
There you go. That's why doctors tell people they're doctors at parties. That's all they'll get to talk.
And make sure they're paying you for those sessions, Doc. That's all.
Oh. Oh, listen, let me tell you something. I didn't know when I came into Indie Comics and Comicsgate that I was inheriting a whole other patient care load. But boy, there's right pickings.
There's a lot of people need their hand held in this.
Well, I'm one of them. So
I never wanted to be that guy. I had editors over and over again. If you need help on this, give us a call. And I said, I will cut my hands off before I ever call and ask for help.
Yeah.
So I will be sweating blood here and not call for help.
No, that's me too. It's crazy, but
yeah, I actually got fussed at by my clinical supervisor for doing that. When I was young and starting out, I got in over my head with a case, and I did not reach out for help. And finally, when it was almost too late, I desperation squealed, and he came in and saved the day. And he was like, I was reading your notes here, buddy, and this thing went off the rails like 6 weeks ago. Like, why didn't you call me? Like, I didn't even want to bother you.
The difference is you're dealing with real life. I'm just sitting here making stuff up.
Yes, true enough. Sometimes the made up stuff is way more fun. I'll tell you that.
Well, yeah, I found that to be true.
So I was like flipping through my YouTube the other day, and there I seen old Mr. July hanging out with Dixon.
Yeah.
And y'all were talking about your stuff and his stuff, but what do you think about Rippa blowing up, man?
He's the new crowdfunding king of comics, man. I mean,
the king for sure.
I mean, we had our crowdfunder going for 100 Ninja Bear, and we're poking along, man. And I'm like, man, we're never going to reach this goal. And then he drops the video of the two of us, and we're almost there. I mean, this guy's got so much power right now, and I'm so damn happy for him.
Yes, man.
He put the work in. He put a lot of work into this. He's been leading up to this for years, and he put a lot of his own money in it already. I mean, invested. And he shows that video where he's got the warehouse. I'm like, he said warehouse, but this is a warehouse. It's
Right.
It's not his garage. It's not some storage unit. This guy's walking around, looks like an IKEA. I mean, it's like nuts, but God bless him. He's already been successful with the money. I wish him nothing but continued success.
Yeah.
I was blown away. I mean, I knew he was going to do good. Okay. I mean, he put time in it. He over a decade building a following, an audience.
Yeah.
Come on, people were throwing money at him before he ever thought about doing a comic book.
Right.
He's, you watch his show, he's getting super chats all the time. He's, people were going to back him. It was not a, oh my God moment for me. It was like, right on, dude. That was what it was for me, because I knew that was what was going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I reached out to him today to thank him for dropping the video when he did, because we did the video the day after he raised $1 million. And I knew, okay, this guy's not going to have time to drop the video today. Wow. He's running around like a man with his pants on fire.
Right. So he's over 3 now, Chuck.
I think, somebody told me they think he's going to reach 10 before it's all over.
If the media keeps messing with him, he's going to reach 10.
Yeah, you can't begrudge a dime of that.
No,
because it's been a long time coming.
Right,
the guy worked to get where he's at, and
the only thing they don't like is a political association of his, and that's why everybody hates on him. It's like, man, y'all got to quit. Remember when we didn't used to talk about politics? This is why.
Yep.
This is why, because you can't now.
No, we're not allowed to talk to each other. You're not allowed to bring.
We used to not do it, so we wouldn't get to this point.
Well, the thing is, they say silence is violence, and then when you say something, they go, "You can't say that." Shut up. We need to have a national conversation about this. As soon as you start the conversation, they're like, whoa, wait a minute. You can't say that.
Yeah.
You're people are going to get hurt if you say that.
I've always loved that phrase. You can't say that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What? What does that even mean? You can't say that.
You don't have to listen.
Right.
Don't have to. But that was the favorite thing my mom used to say. You don't have to listen, but you ain't gonna learn nothing.
God gave you one mouth and two ears for a reason.
That's right. And a pair of feet to walk away.
But yeah, I mean, Eric, his whole problem is he's not supposed to think the way he thinks.
Exactly.
He's not allowed
and we all know why.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all know why. And that is so wrong.
Yes.
And that is so hateful at the bottom of it all. He's shown him, man. He built his whole own thing. Talk about going off the grid and outside the system and outside the box. He did it all.
Yeah, with the people that have destroyed modern comics, their counter argument was, well, just go create your own thing. All right, here you go.
And he didn't use Kickstarter, and he didn't use Indiegogo.
Right.
Come on, man.
He's uncancelable. Nobody can touch him. Nobody can stop him now. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I hope he's he's a player now. He's a major player, not just indie. Because he doesn't need Marvel and DC money to do what Marvel and DC are doing, because he doesn't have the overhead.
That's right. Now, I doubt that Marvel or DC in that same time period from their print stuff pulled in that much money.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely no. I mean, he's going to be profitable. Mm-hmm. And they're not profitable. They're loss. They're running at a loss.
Exactly.
If they didn't have the licensing fees coming in, they would have shuttered the doors.
And this was the other thing. They couldn't stop them, but PayPal did. They tried.
Yeah.
They tried.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like they don't have a leg to stand on because he can prove all the sales.
Well, they never have a leg to stand on. Their thing is, you violated our community standards. Well, what are your community standards? Well, we don't have to tell you that.
Yeah.
Same as YouTube.
Do.
Same thing
YouTube does. Once you get in the court of law, you kind of do.
Yeah.
And now he's got the money to take him to. I mean, it's not like he didn't have the money to take him. Can you imagine if he has to sue, how much money people going to throw at him for that lawsuit?
I mean, if you really want to make him rich, come on with it.
You see what I'm saying? They're not hurting him at all.
No.
Right.
They're not hurting him at all. They're making him more powerful by the day. And that's why people are saying, but 10,000 by the time this campaign's over, is because they're banking on the media not letting up on this. They're banking on that. Everybody's going to get a little money off of this one.
Yeah, they're just making him more and more famous. They're going to have people giving them money that could give a rip about comics just to support him.
I'm getting a bulletin from the wife that I am being summoned.
That's not good.
So, wife aggro is something to be avoided at all costs.
Yes.
So on that note, Pops, it's always a pleasure. Chuck, it was a great honor to meet you, sir. I really enjoyed talking with you.
It was a lot of fun. You'll have to have me on again.
Oh, absolutely. And chat, you guys rock as always. The doctor is out.
Peace, Doc. Now, hopefully I get to hang out with Doc this weekend. I know I'm going to be there. I hope he gets to make it down there too. So, Chuck, you've been doing this for a long freaking time.
Yep.
This book that you're doing right now, the Hunter Ninja Bear, is this like how 360 freaking pages, man? What?
Yep. It's a year of a monthly book, basically.
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around that part of it. Okay. From the moment you said that, I was like, wow. I think I saw you got the print softcover copy of that like for $30.
Yep.
360 pages.
It's going to take you a while to read it. There's a lot of oodles in that book.
Well, I'm trying to let people know that this is a value per dollar thing. Okay,
yep.
You guys are paying $30 for 48 page books.
Right.
that ain't by Chuck Dixon, yo.
Well, also, in a lot of cases, those books aren't completed. Every page of this story and art, it's completed.
Dude, come on, let's go make sure that one gets over the hump. How close did you say it was?
Well, we're just under 10,000 to raise. That may have changed because it's been changing all day. Let me take a quick look.
Okay, I got $40,390.
Okay, so it's going up 300 in the past hour. So
cool. We need 3 days. 3 days worth of heavy promotion. We will talk about you tomorrow during the Tuesday morning brew.
Cool.
I will give you a little plug during the Wednesday night countdown for Freak Meter.
Thank you.
I'll be on the road Thursday though when it closes.
Well, I'm going to be on Graham Nolan's show on Wednesday night. So.
Cool. Do that. Any show you can get on between now and ending it, man. Look.
Got to move that needle.
Brian Christgau, this guy right here, subscribe to his channel too because they do a horror show.
Okay.
Like where they'll pick a indie movie that's Freeview that anybody can go watch, a horror movie, and then they'll talk about it on Tuesday nights. It's a great show, and he's also, like we said, the writer for Six Gun Gorilla. Cool. Which they just did their 8th copy of that, so 8th issue of that. So cool. Been around for a while doing the thing, but his show is awesome. He gets a lot of good views, and
I'll check it out.
Pop in there tomorrow night, man. Tell him you want to come in for a few minutes and talk about this. Let's make sure this one gets funded, Brian. You hear me talking? They know that's what I'm all about, man. I look at 448 fans that are going to be disappointed if this one doesn't fund.
Yeah, I think we're going to make it. I feel pretty good about it. I know it's tight. It's always tight at the end. You're always like, but I think we'll make it. But but I'm going to be pushing that rock up the hill the whole time.
Yeah, well, I always push for. I might not work as hard for somebody after they've gotten funded because I'm trying to get somebody else funded.
Sure.
But whenever I see one that's getting close to the end, I'm like, we do some extra work, man, because that's what I do, Chuck.
It's appreciated.
You come out, join us anytime. Like I said, CromCon, next weekend, it's going to be a wide open venue. So,
okay.
If you want to pop in, even though it'll be over, if you want to pop in, you can.
No, just stay in touch and send me links, and I'll.
Oh yeah. Anytime, man. Let's just say we do like 6 different shows during the week, and the big event at the end of the month every month. So. Cool. You're always welcome. Just like you got the Mike Barron open invite, the OG open invite. Because part of the reason I do this, I have to say this, is people like you and Mike Barron and the people that create comic books have given me a lifetime of entertainment. And when COVID knocked everything out, I was like, what can I give back? And all I had was this chair and this computer. Okay, and this is how I did it. Okay, and I love what you guys gave me. I pass it on to my grandkids. It's freaking awesome, and I can't thank you enough for being one of those guys, man.
Well, it was never work to me. I loved every minute of it. I still do. I'm as enthusiastic about it now as the first comic I wrote. So,
dude. It's crazy. It's crazy that I'm getting to meet all these people now that I'm an old man. I was one of those guys. If I went to the con, I was going through the boxes. I didn't care what was going on. I was a comic book collector. I'm like, I'm gonna find some gold over here. That was all I cared about. The collection we have now in the house. This is like my 4th collection in my life.
Wow.
It's like we've had them stolen, we've had them, just all kind of, the first one, the same thing happened to everybody.
Yeah.
Mom said, you don't need this anymore when you were gone for a weekend. And
every guy that had a comic book collection who went away to college came back that first Christmas to find all the comics gone. Yeah.
Yeah. And somebody else got my 2nd collection. another family member I won't mention got my second collection. Yeah, no, it's like, but this is my fourth one, man. But this one's my most fun because now I have actual art. I get to talk to all you guys. I've had so much fun the last couple of years. I can't even articulate it, my friend. It's like, stuff that you never knew were on your bucket list that you actually get to do.
Right.
Like you never convinced me 2 years ago I'd be doing a show and talking to Chuck Dixon. Okay. It's just weird, man. It's like, did real good, didn't fanboy out too much, but you are one of them people that's all over my collection. I just want you to know that.
I did so much work. I'm always complimented when people go, I was sorting my comics the other day, and boy, I have a lot of comics written by you, and they didn't realize it. And to me, that's the best compliment because they weren't seeking me out, but they liked what I wrote.
Well, so, I mean, when I was a kid, I never even looked. I didn't care who drew it, who wrote it.
Right.
I was reading the story. Okay. Yep. I mean, I could care less. It's like, but it's like, it's way different now. Now I'm a fan. When I first started my group, all we used to do is come out here and go, hey, look what I got today. That's how our group started. It wasn't about promoting or anything, right? And then it turned into a promoting and networking group, and that's the other thing. You're always welcome to drop any links to anything in the madness.
Okay,
that's what the group is for. Want to get as many eyes on what you guys do as I can.
Well, you kind of changed your approach as the business changed.
It was never a business. It was.
I know, but we're all of us creators have had to turn into marketers.
Yeah. Well, I know so many that didn't. Okay, when COVID went down, you all had to. Yeah. Okay, all the indie creators had to learn how to market. Okay, I had a small platform that I could say, "Come on out here," and a lot of people didn't know what to do, how to talk, and it was like we just came out and we'd have fun.
Right.
We'd talk, we'd have a blast, and we talk about their projects, and just like with this, cover history and whatever, but we tried to never make it like too much pressure. But there have been a couple of CromCons where we did the 15-minute elevator pitch, where you came out and all you got was 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And you had to pitch your book. There wasn't no time for hi, how you doing? It was, pitch your book. And that made people work. And a lot of people had to realize that marketing is huge. To me, it's the second most important thing after the actual creation.
Well, it is. It certainly is now. I mean, it's getting the word out and marketing is half of my job now. And I used to not have to do it at all. Like at Marvel and DC, they had people to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's but now it's what an uphill battle it is to get something noticed.
Yes,
it's nearly impossible. I mean, social media is a lie. Trying to get the word out on anything, the different platforms make it harder every day, to get noticed. So yeah, it's tough.
Well, there's a lot of people that have been in our chat today that actually have shows of their own.
No.
Okay. If any of you guys trying to get Chuck on your show, tell them Pop sent you so they know you actually legit. All right.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, Brian has show, RJ has show, everybody's got a show. Half the people that watch my show regularly have their own shows. So, I mean, you guys know how we do it. Sometimes we pass you guys around like a fatty. Don't tell anybody, but sometimes we do. It's like, RJ, you're up, you're next. Get a hold of Chuck, get him on the show.
That's happened to me before. I've been on shows where it looks like one of those CNN panels where it's like 12 guys talking to me.
Yeah.
But I'll hit it off with one guy, and then I'll hear after the show he contacts me. So I have my own show. I'm like, well, we had such a good rapport here. Yeah, I'd love to talk to you again.
Well, I have a lot of people who have networks of their own that I also promote. Because it ain't about competition. It's about co-opetition.
Right.
You know, we all want the views. Yeah, we all want the watch hours. But at the same time, the main goal is getting you guys seen. And that means getting you on all of our platforms, not just this one or that one.
You can't do it by yourself anymore. I mean,
well, there's no way.
The days when you could go on the internet and get noticed are gone, without help. You need everybody's help because the system's working against you every step of the way.
Exactly. There's no way I could do this for 15 years like Eric July did and never reach those kind of numbers now. There's too many other people that do this too. But that's why I cooperate with the ones that have good networks, because they got shows, they got people watching, and they're not the same audience as mine.
Right. Yeah. That's the important thing. That's the thing a lot of people don't understand is the different audiences. Because, I mean, I had a guy say, well, I'm going to do Kickstarter, but I'm not going to do Indiegogo. And I said, well, Indiegogo is an entirely different audience.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand that. You're leaving a lot of people behind if you only do one thing.
We got the girls over at Raging. They got a network, right? And then you got Good Stuff, Comic Skater. Two completely different audiences from mine.
Yeah.
I mean, so just those three places, if I get you in those three places, that triples what I could have done for you.
Yeah, yes. Force multiplier.
That's what I'm trying to do. That's all I try to do is I built this to be a hub, a network, a promotional network for everybody. Be cool and do your thing. Self-promotion is so important. I can't see it if you don't tell somebody about it.
Right.
Right.
Well, you know how it is. I mean, when Graham Nolan did his first crowdfunder, I didn't hear about it for 3 weeks. Now I'm friends with Graham Nolan. We're talking to each other every day through email and through direct messaging. But Facebook did their damnedest to keep me from hearing about, his new project. And it's like, that's why I mean social media is a lie.
One of the things I found out about Facebook is pages are money grabs.
Yeah.
That's why I made a group. They don't never hassle me about sharing stuff out. They don't ever hassle me about paying for ads. They don't ever nothing. But the larger my fan base gets, the more people I'm reaching all the time. And Facebook can't really curb a group.
Yeah.
Groups get huge. Mine's only it's 2,500 people.
Wow.
And then on the Twitter, we got another 1,200 over there.
And you can reach those groups without fail. There's no dropout.
No,
I didn't get that.
I mean, it's the people that pay attention to the group, obviously.
Oh, yeah, I understand that,
but we get a lot of people. The feed moves pretty fast with people promoting their stuff.
Right.
I encourage people to post a link at least once a day because it's going to get buried. Right. So you got to come back every day and drop your link because it's going to get buried because the feed moves pretty fast.
Yeah, you can't say it often enough. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't make people go drop their link there, but I offer it. It's there. It's it doesn't cost anybody anything. There's no ad charges. There's no Facebook ain't up your ass about giving them money and shit. It's a group, so come drop your links. That's how I beat Facebook. Okay, because I realized right away my ads aren't going to get seen. I watched my friends pay for ads that I never saw. I'm out here every day.
I've paid for ads and I never see the needle move. And then I send out 50 direct messages. I see the needle move.
Well, see, and I have friends that pay for ads, and it's like I'm out here every day, surveying, scanning, seeing what's up, and sharing it out to other people. That's what I do.
Right.
And I have friends that have paid for Facebook ads, and through the whole month of their active Kickstarter, I might have saw the ad one time.
Right.
Now, I would get that if I'm only out here once in a while, but I'm out here all day, every day. Where is the ad my friend paid for? It's not even reaching his friends list.
Exactly. When they tell you, well, 25,000 people saw this, well, you're telling me
where?
I don't
in
know
Ukraine? Where? Where were the people that saw this?
I paid for ads on Amazon. I paid for ads on Facebook. Never saw any results from them. The only results I see are from my own email list and direct messaging. And of course, they limit direct messaging. You can only send out so many a day.
What if they always said is the best salesman?
What's that?
What if they always said is the best salesman?
I don't know.
Word of mouth.
Well, yeah.
Okay. One of your fans gets your book in his hand, tell somebody else, hey, yo, this shit's pretty good, right? That's how things get sold. Okay. Yeah. That's why, like, people talk about how much money they make on a campaign. My first question is, how many backers did you have?
Right.
How many people's hands did you put that book in that are going to like it and talk about it to other people? Because that's where your growth comes from. Word of mouth of people liking your book.
Yep.
You know, I mean, yeah, we get bumps from some people. We get bumps from some platforms. You get bumps from Ethan. You get a bump from Eric July. You get a bump from Bancroft. But for the most part, most of that work you did yourself.
Yeah, I was talking with some people, you know, some tech people and stuff a couple of weeks ago, and they said, well, what's your target audience? And I said, geeky billionaires. And we only need 2.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, unfortunately, no, you need lots and lots of people.
You got to have, you know, I mean, you got to have a fan base. That's why Eric, surpassed anybody's wildest imagination, because he had a big fan base already. A lot of people liked him. Well, it wasn't like, you know, I mean,
you know, like you said,
was he going to succeed?
Like you said, he started before they started changing the rules. So,
oh yeah, I mean, 15 years ago, he was in music. He had a huge, you know, he's had a huge YouTube following forever. Young Ripa's been around. You know, he was Young Ripa back then. Remember?
Yep.
You know, Eric ain't looking young no more. He's looking, you know, but he was Young Ripa when he started. People forget that. He'd been doing this for a long time.
Yep. Yeah, well, it's all paying off for him,
and he deserves. That's what I mean. He deserves it. He doesn't deserve all the
sweat in, man. He absolutely put the sweat in. So
he don't deserve all the wreck that he's getting from the media. And I'm telling you, the more they mess with him, the more people are going to get behind him, because that Streisand effect is huge when you got a big fan. When you got a big fan following already, man, you know.
I mean, all they're doing is informing people who don't know who he is.
Yeah. And then they're finding out they like him.
Yeah, and who wouldn't like the guy? You know, you hear what he's saying. It's like, even if you don't agree with him, it's like, well, this guy's speaking from the heart. This is his, you know, he's earned his opinions. He didn't learn his opinions. So, and then, you know, it's just exciting to see something like this happen for somebody. And it's happened for a lot of guys. I mean, you mentioned Brian Pulido. I mean, he's done amazing work building an audience. You know, my buddy Graham Nolan, well, I won't say one-man show because his wife works awful hard with him. And, but, you know, he's done a tremendous amount with, you know, starting from nothing, you know, to making a living from this stuff, doing projects, only the projects he wants to do. Yeah. And, you know, God bless him, because all these guys that do it, because I can't do it. I don't have enough concentration. I get so many ideas. I'm working on a dozen projects at one time. To work on one project, market it, do it, and fulfill it, and that's all you're doing. It's like a major movie release. My mind just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I've look, Brian Pulido was the one that gave us credibility in the beginning. Okay, when I asked him what he was going to do, and then I went back to him a week later and I said, man, that was great. I think I'm going to do that for everybody else. And I told him my idea, and he said he'd come out. Said he'd come out for it. He came out for like 90 minutes, hung out with us, you know, and talked about doing it, you know, from the beginning, you know, how he built his little empire. And I don't mess with Brian. I don't call Brian up, hey, man, you want to come out every month, blah, blah, blah. I call Brian up in April at the anniversary show, and I say, hey, Brian, you want to come out? It's the 1-year anniversary. He says, sure, Pops, I'll be there. And then the second year on April, I was like, hey, Brian, it's April, second anniversary. You want to come out? I don't mess with that man because he's a busy man.
It's hard work. You know? It's hard work doing this crowdfunding thing. It really is. It's exhausting. I mean, I did when Graham and I did Joe Frankenstein, it was like this failure crowdfunding thing. But even a failure one where we didn't get that many followers, it was a lot of work doing the fulfillment. I mean, I'm like, wow, I can't imagine what this would be like on a successful campaign.
RJ does logistics and fulfillment. I had to throw that in there because he's like one of our sponsors, one of our people. But he does do complete fulfillment for campaigns.
Wow.
He's done quite a few. I think he's doing Thin Blue Line or doing something for the guys at Thin Blue Line.
Okay.
But he's done a whole bunch because I've received a bunch of books that have come through Critical Blast fulfillment. So just in case it gets to be too much for you, Chuck. RJ. What we're trying to do with him is we're trying to make him quit his day job.
Well,
we're trying to get him so much work that he has to quit his day job to keep
what's
up.
his day job?
Probably logistics. RJ, you want to come in and talk? Come in and talk, man. He's in the I share a studio with him. His Critical Blast studio is like the other half of this one. So, he's got the keys. He can come in if he wants to.
I mean, I couldn't wait to quit my day job, but I didn't have a very good day job. So,
well, we've been teasing him ever since he started doing this. Is we're going to get him so much work that he's going to have to do it full time, hire employees and stuff.
Wow,
that's what we're trying to do to him. We're trying to, get and he's always doing new stuff too. So, not only that, but he's also an author himself, and he's Mike Barron, I think, did a story in his book right now, The Devil You Know Better.
Okay.
Mike Barron and Hart Fisher both did stories in that. It's a little anthology.
Well, you got to wonder. I mean, as good as a lot of this crowdfunding and indie stuff's going, with Eric July doing what he's done, is that going to lift all the boats? Are we looking at like a new comic book age beginning now?
Well, I'm hoping that it rubs off to people's areas of interest.
Right.
Just make sure everybody, Eric's like got Ripaverse and everybody's going to go, oh, and if they read it and they've never read comics before and they like it, then they're going to look at other comics.
Yeah, that's what one would hope.
I mean, but he's already gained so much attention that people are looking at other comics already.
Yeah. And to me, it's not like he's taking up all the oxygen in the room. He's drawing attention to this whole area.
I think it's like not that he's answering the bat signal, right, but like he might have lit the damn thing, and now everybody's going, oh, we need like, well, for me personally, Chuck, I'll be honest with you. I've been for a while now. I've been kind of like saying, quit giving them 10%, quit giving them 10%, quit giving them 10%. Right. Because if you have a book that does $50,000, how much is 10%?
Yeah.
What kind of a website can you build with $5,000?
Right.
To sell your own stuff.
Yep.
And not giving nobody 10% no more.
Yep.
So if you have to do crowdfunding, do it once, make your money, build your website.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Don't keep giving these Kickstarters all your money, especially once you have your fan base built. You don't have to anymore. Ripper just proved it. Your people are going to buy your books wherever they're at. He just proved it to everybody. They're going to buy your books wherever they're at. If they like you, if they want your book, they're going to go to Amazon. They're going to go to Indiegogo. They're going to go to Kickstarter, unless they're really just like all the way up their ass hard asses. But whatever. You know what I mean? If they like you and they like your book, they're going to go buy it where it's available, or they'll catch it on eBay later and act like it wasn't on Kickstarter in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, as long as they know about it, they'll get it.
I mean, as long as you get the book, right? We don't care.
Right.
That's okay. At the same time, if you can sell your book on your own, do it.
Yeah.
Just do it, man.
Yeah, keep that money.
I can promote you on your own.com just as easily as I can share your Kickstarter page. There's no difference to me.
Yep.
I'm still sharing your link to your active campaign and telling people, hey, yo, go check this out. I'm still having you on my show and telling people where your book is. And as long as all the other shows are doing that too, that's
Exactly.
what the network is all about, man. You know, everybody don't need that gigantic middleman, especially the fraudulent one. Kickstarter making me mad lately. That stolen Peter Semitic campaign, 256 backers, and it's a fraudulent campaign. It's Peter's. He didn't put nothing up on Kickstarter. Somebody stole it. Somebody out of Hong Kong.
Jeez.
Right? Okay. I mean, I go put alerts like that in my group all the time. You know, this is a fake campaign. Somebody stole it from Indiegogo, and they put it up on Kickstarter, and don't back it.
I didn't know that stuff was going on. I shouldn't be surprised.
This is what I'm saying. It's like you're not even protected. Why are you giving these people 10%?
Yeah, seriously.
They're not even protecting the integrity of your IPs.
Well, I mean, I'm in an argument now with my publisher on my novels because on Amazon, they'll always put the most negative review on top.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is don't they want to sell these books? I mean, this is hurting sales. I got all these 5-star reviews and they picked the 1 3-star review and put that one on the top all the time. And it's like, well, what is this?
Okay, so what if somebody went in there and only gave you 1 star, but said a whole bunch of really good things about you?
Well, I don't care about the stars. I just care. It's that headline. It's that headline.
That's what I'm saying. That one would go to the top, right?
If it's 1 star and it says, "Oh, this is the best book I've ever read," like, okay, I'm cool with that. But when they get the 3 stars and the guy says this sucks, and especially when it's like, oh, it came and the cover was banned. It was like, what does that have to do with what I wrote?
You want to say hi to Chuck? Come over here. Yeah? You want to say hi to Chuck? Rocky, what are you looking at? Oh, you're just going to leave? Well, that was rude of him.
Not a fan.
He usually hangs out and has stuff to say.
He's not a fan. What can I say?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. It could be dinner time or something, Yeah, it's actually probably after dinner time. So, Chuck, it's awesome that you came out for us, man. It's been 2 hours. I'm not going to take up any more of your time, but you're always welcome to join us anytime.
Yeah, a good gang here, a lot of good conversation. I enjoyed it a lot. You got to have me back.
Dude, definitely, man. And like I said, this weekend, we're just going to be wide open live at the con. We're going to have a big screen up behind us, and everybody walking by is going to see who we're talking to live and online. They're going to be able to see the show online as well.
Well, drop me a link if I'm around. I'll stop by.
Cool. I will do that.
All right.
Thank you so much, my friend. I will definitely talk to you again.
Okay. Anytime, Pops.
You bet.
Talk to you soon.
I'm going to play a couple of commercials, because we have a lot of good sponsors. Like Laughing Rogue. Check it out.
From author Brian K. Morris comes a classic hero in a high-flying, fast-paced, and action-packed steampunk adventure. The original Skyman battles the Master of Steam with an introduction by comics icon and historian Roy Thomas. A Rising Tide, an Ace Comics publication. Available now in print or digital format on Amazon.com.
Secrets, trust, worth. The bond between souls intertwined within otherworldly intrigue. Michaela Jade brings forth the Elite Warrior series, a collection of dark fantasy romance novels set in a twisted world where power lusts in the hearts of men and devotion seduces the souls of women. Warrior's Secret, Warrior's Trust, and Warrior's Worth. Available now at authormichaelajade.com.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.